Hello, everybody. It's me, boy, Oliver Hoots. Okay, how's everybody? I hope you are well. Uh, this is just something real quick. Sorry I've been gone. Had a stressful time. Wednesday. TLDR, my cat got out, but he came home, so he's fine, and I'm fine. But it was really rough. Um, so that day I was just out of it. Then I had some other stuff to do. Here I am today. So yeah, what's up? And okay, so today we are finishing the interactive horror stories. We have four more. I believe we didn't do Evil Beneath the Ground. Yeah, we know them about a Goth University. Hey, I'm Happy Robert Joseph. Welcome back. How you doing? See, you are a Goth University student with no friends. You join a school trip to a lake and the forest near it. You decide to wander into the forest at night. Will you find bare footprints? You will find If you decide to wander into the forest tonight, you will find bare footprints. Those are coming from a black hole with a ladder. Will you descend down? Okay. Um, why, I suppose so. Okay, let's get into it. After this, we'll probably just mess around in creepypasta wiki. A hoot! Hoot hoot! Woo! Okay. Yeah, let's just go. Music. Yeah. All right. Evil beneath the ground. You are a young university student who identifies as a goth. You're a lonely person. People think that you want to be alone, but in fact, you couldn't find someone you couldn't find someone you felt affinity. You couldn't find someone you felt affinity, like affinity for. Here's some good hoots. Oh, thank you. Glad you liked it. Everyone is so distant from you. Nobody you know listens to the music that. Nobody you know listens to the music you love, like Bauhaus, This Mortal Coil, The Sisters of Mercy, etc. You can tell this guy really. All right. You heard about a university field trip to a lake and a forest around in the autumn. There'd be a picnic. Also, alcohol is permitted. You could bring your own drinks. Join the field trip. Not only maybe you could make some new friends, but you also love the nature, especially when it's a cold season. But of course, you couldn't make new friends once again. During the 2 hours of bus travel, you found out that every other student who joined the trip was already friends. They simply ignored you. You also didn't approach them. As a result, all you could do during this bus trip was looking outside the window or playing games on your phone while you listened to their joyful laughters. You have mixed feelings about the picnic by the lake. You can't feel yourself as a part of the joyful youth who are enjoying the nature trip. After having a picnic barbecue, they played a game with a ball in which they formed a circle and tried not to let the ball touch the ground. Everyone participated in the game, except for you. You probably could have joined that, but you enjoyed the nature trip somehow. I said before, you love the nature. You took pictures of the lake with your phone. You don't plan to post the pictures anywhere, though. And there's a huge forest in the picnic area. You always found peace in the green of the forest. This is true. After sunset, people began to light a campfire and drink. People around your age generally prefer beer. We don't like it. You feel it overfills your stomach and causes nausea after 2 cans. Instead, you prefer stronger drinks. Today you brought a bottle of red wine and a wine glass. Gather around the campfire where you drink your wine alone, away from them. Handsome guy borrows a guitar from the bus and began playing it around the fire. While you finish your second glass of wine, campfire and moon illuminates the darkness. The sun is already set. There are about 5 hours for the picnic to end. You will be going back to the city with buses. He's playing a calming song. You might join the group. You also feel a strong urge to have a walk in the dark forest. Obviously, we're going to progress the plot, but I feel like this guy should have just joined the fucking group. Approach the group. Two girls notice you. They open a space for you to sit between them. They're welcoming. One of them is blonde, the other has long black hair. They wear colorful clothes, contrasting with your black outfit. How are you? That's pretty. I mean, that's pretty normal. To his classic horror movie. Yeah. I'm sure we'll, like, usually you fail in these a lot and then you go back. We'll get back to the scene what the horror movie option is in a second. So we can be like reasonable. Hey, how you doing? What are your names? Just don't say anything to them at all. Okay. That actually does kind of sound realistic, though. That's probably what I would have done. I would have had the fucking... would have had the courage to sit next to him, but then have no idea what to say to anybody in the circle. Leave them without saying anything. That'd be kind of funny. You can stay with the other student. You can stay with the other students or go to the forest. Alright, we're going to the forest now. You stand up and wander from the picnic. You feel the call of the dark forest, so you walk along the path into the forest. Trees are high and still green. Maybe they stay green in all seasons. You don't know. Your field is not biology. Doesn't even know about evergreen trees. The soil is wet and muddy. It must have rained before your group arrived at the lake. You leave boot prints on the soil as you walk. There are no clouds in the sky. Full moon and stars illuminate the forest. There's not enough for your eyes. You turn on the flashlight of your phone. There's an app for it too. You can't clearly see, but notice rabbits in the distance. Naturally, they run from you as they notice your presence. You begin to think that you might have gone too far away from the picnic. There's nothing interesting in the picnic area. You somehow feel like the darkness of the forest is your only friend. Is your friend. Only friend. There's a part of me that wants to just be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I had fun. Let's go back. That's cool. Because, like, literally, they really just want you to do that. Nothing interesting happens the rest of the day. You finish your bottle of wine. You can't make any friends as usual. Time comes, you get on the bus and go back to the city. Yes, it's a lame ending, but at least you are still alive and human. Beautiful. Alright. So, let's get back to... Whoops. I went through that way too fast. Join the group. How you doing, Margaret says, we are fine. You need to say anything else, nor ask you how you are. What are your names? One brother guy says, we have boyfriends. I only asked your names. You're trying so hard, aren't you? Margaret says, and they both laugh. Fuck you! I tried being nice. You're sleeping on the nice guy. Why don't you just go be with fucking Chad? And then you leave them. They don't like what you say, but they don't react either. They keep sipping their beers as you leave them. You can stay at the other students to go to the forest. You could have just been like, hey, I'm not... You also could have just been like, look, I'm not trying to hook up. I'm just bored and got no one to talk to. Now let's go explore the forest. Okay. Then we go to the option we had before. So let's continue on the path. Continue on the forest path. After a few minutes, you notice footprints on the soil. Seem to belong to a human with bare, big feet. Probably a man. Prints across the path. Follow him or follow his route back? Interesting. Follow him. You follow footprints on the soil. They keep changing directions. You find yourself at the elevation. An elevation and the prints stop here. Whoever was walking, he didn't leave prints those you could follow anymore. He might have gone anywhere as he didn't follow a single direction. He didn't leave prints those you could follow anymore. Oh yeah, something I feel like I should mention is this game quite clearly was made in Turkey. Because the two language options at the beginning are English and Turkey. Well, Turkish. So, English isn't exactly the best in some cases, but I'm not going to hold that against them. It's clearly not their first language. Follow his route back. Decide to go to the place where he comes from. After a long walk, you find yourself at a hole. There's a lid and a long rope near it. The man clearly comes from the hole. His footprints prove it. When you hold your phone's light into the black hole, you see that there is a ladder inside the hole. You can't see the end of the hole from your position. There's a curious and drunk little boy. Okay, well, see you in a bit. Enjoy doing whatever you gotta do. You feel a strong urge to descend. Well, of course. You need to use both your hands to climb down. You put your phone in your jeans pocket and turning off the light. You start climbing down. After a few seconds, moon and stars above no longer illuminate what you see. You are in pitch black. The ladder still continues. Finally, your feet touch the ground. They're so distant from the forest that you can't see the entrance of the hole from where you are. Carefully get on your 2 feet. You can see nothing yet. Turn on the phone's light. The place where you are is made of concrete. There's a long corridor in front of you. It is narrow, about 1 meter wide. It's not very high. There are only a few centimeters between your head and the ceiling of the corridor. You smell a terrible odor. It's a mixture of feces and something you can't understand. There are 3 doorless holes along the concrete corridor, making 3 rooms to discover. I'm just hoping these all lead to different, like, vor scenarios, like... That'd really be terrifying. Okay, so, which room should we go in? We're gonna get the fuck out of here. Oh! Didn't see that one coming. Okay. We'll just go them through, order. There's an empty wooden coffin. A mirror hangs on the concrete wall. A bloody razor and a black whip stand in front of the mirror. In the mirror, you see your reflection and the terror of your face. Okay. And we just leave the room, I guess. In the second room, shocked to find a chained woman in this room. The chain is tied to her ankle. She's in her 40s, too weak. Her bones are noticeable. And has a pale skin with lots of scars. She's on her knees. She is naked. Her body is lightly hairy, except for her pubic area, which is quite hairy. Contrasting her hairy body, her head is shaved. She stinks. Not only the smell of feces, but also it looks like she wasn't washed for years. She screams as you point the light on her. Who are you? She doesn't answer the question, but yells at the sir, help me, he keeps me here. And try to save her, I guess. You crouch down and tie a foot. There's no way you can remove the bracelet from her ankle. You also notice that her pinky toe is missing. Well, what happened to your toe? He made me eat it. Was it good? You crouch down and tie a foot. There's no way you can remove the bracelet from your ankle. Let me try to find the key. Try to leave the room, but something you don't understand happens. You exit the room. You hit something that wasn't visible in front of you. Yes, you saw nothing in front of you, yet you hit something. You fall to the floor. An invisible force carries you and repeatedly smashes your head to the wall. You hear the woman screaming as you black out. When you wake up, you find yourself lying on the concrete floor in pitch darkness. By the smell, you understand that you are in the same place. Whoever's keeping you captive, he stripped you of all clothes. You are naked and cold. There's a gag in your mouth, so you can't shout and communicate with the woman. She might be gagged too. Stand up and try to walk away, but your ankle is tied with a chain. You only walk in a chamber with 1 meter radius. Your foot touches a metal bucket. It's probably where he expects you to defecate. You lose all sense of time here. You wait for an unimmeasurable time for something to happen. You are thirsty and hungry. Sometimes you hear your phone rings, and it's in a different room. The piano melody is It's the Fear by Within Temptation, an ironic name for your situation. They probably notice that you are missing and try to reach you, especially your parents. They must have become mad. Of course, you can't answer the call. Thanks. Would have never guessed. Finally, you hear footsteps. You hear a captor coming in your room. You're unable to see anything. He takes your gag off. Apparently, he has no problem with seeing in pitch black. You hear his voice. Drink. Belongs to an old man. A dominant, ordering voice. You feel the tip of a bucket on your lips. Drink? It is water, what he's offering. You drink it. Not the best water you drank. Could be taken from the lake, but you have no other choice, it seems. After drinking up, he puts the bucket on the ground and brings you something to your lips. Eat. You are too hungry to refuse him. Then put the thing in your mouth. It's meat, but raw. You never eat raw meat, except for sushi. Now chew it slowly. It is rabbit, he says. You swallow the meat, despite how it disgusts you. After you eat all he gives you, he puts the gag on your mouth and leaves the room without saying another word. After a while, he comes back as you were lying on the floor. Stand up, he orders you. After a while, he stands back as you were lying. Oh yeah, he's an old man. So let me try to get that correctly. Get to your 2 feet clumsily. He grabs your body, and you feel 2 sharp bangs on your neck. He starts draining your blood. And now, you understand the true nature of your captor. You have no idea how long you've been a prisoner here. You're mostly alone in the room, doing nothing with a gag on your mouth. Occasionally comes back to feed you and himself. Sometimes, you hear loud sounds from the other room. He tortures the woman. She screams and begs for him to stop, but he doesn't. You hear a whip hit the naked flesh of the woman. For some reason, he doesn't harm you, only the woman. Half while you're gone, turns out that this whole underground cellar is run by a spooky vampire, and he's keeping me here as food. Yeah. Big spooky revelation. You haven't seen anything for a long time. You have no idea what it looks like. Sometimes you hear sobbing, but it doesn't belong to the woman, to the captor. He cries loudly for some reason. Someday, or a night, you can't figure it out. He shows up and takes your gag off. I've done research about you. Learned everything about you. He says your name, shocking you. We have some common points. We both like the dark. We're both outcasts, lonely souls in this world of darkness. Make you an offer. Only once, so make your decision wisely. I can make you an immortal like me. You will no longer be in chains. You have a life or unlife in the dark, like you have always wanted. Or you can stay as immortal and wait for the day you will die here as my prisoner. I want to be an immortal. Fuck this human shit. It's overrated. Very well, he says. Stand up. You stand up and allow your master to embrace you. You feel his fangs in your neck once again. This time he doesn't stop. You feel your whole body is getting drained. Soon, you lose consciousness. Ooh, spooky red text. You open your eyes. You find yourself lying in a wooden coffin. This time, you are able to see. There isn't any single light source in the concrete room. You see your environment as if you were wearing night vision goggles. You're wearing your old clothes and also gloves, so you can't see your skin. You have lost your hair. It has shed. Your old hair is on the coffin part where you put your head on. You feel your face change too, but the most significant change is the unbearable thirst. But not for water. Welcome to a new start, my child. You hear it. Oh, wait. Welcome to a new start, my child. You hear his voice. You look around the room, but you can't see him. There are 2 coffins and a mirror in the room. You think that our kind can't be seen on the mirror? False. Take a look at yourself. Step outside the coffin and walk to the mirror. Oh my god, it's Nosferatu. Tearing with your face. You have a human face in yours. Your skin has scales like a snake. Its color is a light gray, almost white. Your ears are long and have pointy tips. Your eyes are all red. You slowly open your mouth to see your sharp teeth. You scream, break down, and cry in despair. Then you feel his hands, claw to be exact, on your shoulder. He stands on your back. Now you're able to see his hand. It's scaled like your skin. Look at me. Look at me. He orders you, and for some reason, you can't disobey your master. You involuntarily look at the mirror to see the immortal entity behind you. His body is tall, naked, and has a hunchback. His skin is almost white and scaled, but his face, it's the ugliest thing you've ever seen. It's the embodiment of evils, torture, murder, rape, and envy. envy for everything that is pretty and fair. I will teach you everything I know. Your new and only new parent says with a hideous smile. Cool. We a spooky vampire. Know what? Don't know why, but this is relaxing. Oh well, I'm glad you're having a good time, and it's relaxing for you. One of the main reasons I like to do this. I find it relaxing too, and it's fun. Also, I like just ripping into like bad horror stories. You can find them everywhere. Now, we move on to Crystal Skull 2, which is a sequel to Crystal Skull, which, if you don't remember, let's see. Okay. In the original one of Crystal Skull, you were a king. Your daughter was dying, so you got the Crystal Skull. In canon, what I decided to do was just throw it into the fucking lake, because at that, no spooky skull for me. But your other options are if you touch it, you get taken over, and then the guy takes you over, does horrible things, or take over your daughter, kills you, and then she becomes queen. Whatever, it's pretty much the same ending. You're just one you're taking control of, and one your daughter is. It's whatever. Okay. This time you're not a king, but a libertine billionaire in modern age. Historical artifacts are one of your vices. A marvelous crystal skull is brought to your mansion. And the interesting part is, you can hear the skull's voice in your mind. You can talk with it. It says that it will bring you joys no mortal can ever reach, but it demands something first. Told these people that my favorite anime site was... Oh, you evil bastard. You're hilarious. I hope they fell for it. I just hope they went there at all. That'd be great. Crystal Skull 2. You consider yourself a lucky man. You're a European billionaire in his 30s. Come on, you gotta give me an idea, so you gotta give me like a country so that I can like come up with an accent. Eastern European? Or we're gonna do Eastern European. Okay. Your mother died a long time ago. You inherited the family manor and company. You're also single and handsome. Yes, you are a lucky son of a bitch. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's a perspective. My favorite anime was over. Good job. Okay. As a libertine, you have indulged in many vices. Those we can't mention because of censorship. You never have harmed anyone against their will, though. But all these wild experiences couldn't slake your thirst. You want to taste what is not tasted before. Conquer the unconquered. Nowadays, you have a new interest. Historical artifacts. Prehistoric vases? No, you don't like the boring things. You own Alexander the Great sword. That's pretty cool. Which he used for cutting the Gordian knot. Didn't obtain its legal ways. It didn't matter to you, and you seek more. You guys know the story about the Gordian knot? It's kind of funny. TLDR, basically, what you were told is if you cut the Gordian knot, you become the ruler of all Asia. And so people would come by and they would try to like, oh, hold on, I gotta fucking ban this guy. There we go. There. Like I was saying, so basically, I know. Well, hey, what are you gonna do? You know, I guess it must work well enough where I didn't get like spam bots. But either way, Gordian knot's this knot where if you could untie it, you would become the Lord of Asia. But no one could figure it out. People would come by and they try to do it. Alexander the Great shows up and he's like, yeah, fuck it. Cuts it with a sword and he's like, it never specifies how the thing has to be undone. So I consider it undone. And everyone's like, yeah, you know, I guess so. Well, he ended up conquering Persia, so he basically did rule all of Asia afterwards. So, you know, It's summer night. Your smartwatch shows. Wait, what the? Oh, all right. It's a smartwatch. I was gonna say this guy's been using. Never mind. Moving on. Summer night. Your smartwatch shows 0111. All your 6 servants are asleep in their rooms. That's the way you like it. You don't like being disturbed by their presence at night. You want to be alone at this hour while enjoying your malt whiskey. You're in front of your laptop in your study room, checking social media. Yes, even billionaires do it. With a glass of whiskey and Cuban cigars. You remember that you haven't checked your emails for a while. This fucking hurts. Okay, 600 emails. 4 of them are business mails. One of them is from your friend Phil, another rich man. You will love this in the subject line. Last one from Bill, an artifact found, a crystal skull. Well, I mean, what the fuck does Phil got? It looks just of a similar image. It belongs to a creepy clown with sharpened teeth and a hideous smile and white face. Low-key lighting in the blood that spills from his mouth make the image even more disturbing. You have a phobia of clowns, and Phil knows it very well. Fuck! Yeah, fuck you. 500 emails for business. Okay, I guess the business emails. These emails are from the employees. They inform me the painkiller medication that your enterprise produces can't be sold in Sweden anymore. Oh, we're Swedish. I'm gonna say that we're Swedish. You're too drunk to handle the situation right now. This medicine ban is not such an important loss for your enterprise anyway. Produce and export many other products. See, export, that's the key word. Imagine being called Bill Ian R. I'm naming my son that. It's from Bill, artifact smuggler. I'm so glad that I found Muse like playlist of all the stuff used in creepypasta because I love it. This takes me back to every creepypasta like reading video I watched in like 2016 or whenever they were big. We don't have hey, hey, can we meet a billionaire? We have a billionaire at home. Billionaire at home. Billionaire. I have to show you this, Bill says. The skull is made from pure crystal and nobody knows where it's from. You won't believe its story. He has taken a photo of the skull from his phone. Fluorescent light in his room is weak, but somehow the skull is clearly visible in the photo. Despite the quality of the photo, the skull looks amazing with its shiny material. You have seen enough crystal jewelry to know that Bill isn't showing you something fake here. Let me bring it to your place. What'll be your response? Bring it to the mansion. Or, get fucked, Bill. I'm not interested. I just go to bed. Turn your laptop off and go to sleep. Wake up a new day. First thing you do every morning is checking Facebook and emails on your phone. On Facebook, first post you see about the suicide of Phil, your friend. He died last night. It shocks you because he's always been happy and loved to prank his friends. He was rich as you. He was as rich as you. There were no reasons he committed suicide. He jumped off the third floor of his mansion. Some unread emails. One of them is titled, About Phil, sent by Bill, the smuggler. I know it's strange, but I was at Phil's place before he committed suicide. I sold him the crystal skull and left the mansion. Then I learned that he died, and nobody knows about the skull. I think one of the servants took and hid it. After reading this man, I suddenly feel relieved. Maybe you saved yourself from a disaster. Ooh, this one has 4 endings. How quaint. Read the smuggler's mail, bring it to the mansion. Wait for the smuggler. Switch your computer off and start waiting for Bill. 15 minutes later, your phone rings. The melody is Amador Mio by Pink Martini. Why is this person so interested in telling you what they're I think it's just to get the imagery in your head, but like it doesn't really matter what the phone sounds like. You know? It doesn't have to, like, it's weird. Okay. Answer the call. Hello. You pick up the phone and answer the call. Oh, sorry. Hello? Pick up and answer the phone. Hey, it's me, dude. Bill says on the phone, looking out the window, and you see him standing in the doorway. I didn't want to wake people up. Open the door for me, will ya? Open the door. Imagine being called Peter File. Oh my god. Your parents are just setting you up for disaster. That's what happened. I would do that. I mean, I would do that, but, you know, I'm... Okay. You leave your study room, descend the stairs. Your study room is on the 3rd floor of the mansion, and open the huge wooden door of the mansion. Just, okay. Bill smiles at you. It is nice to see you again. I'm sure you love what I got here. He shows you his full khaki sports bag, okay? But what if you are the disaster and not the setup? But hey, you know, I guess I just... Well, in that case, I named you perfectly. So... Could you imagine having, Could you imagine finding someone on the registered sex offender list named Peter File? It's like, wow, your parents really, like, saw this coming, huh? Climb the stairs to your study room as Bill follows you. After you reach there, Bill closes the door of the study room and pulls the artifact from his bag. Bill puts the crystal skull on your desk with a confident smile on his face. Oh god, you've seen so many times in your life. But this skull is one of the prettiest one ever. Yeah. I have a really weird obsession with the Ikra. Yeah. You're a boy in a man's world. Oh god. No, please. Skull details on the human skull is imprinted. Reflects the light of the room with elegance. Bill is ready to answer your questions. I love how you can't even just immediately be like, yes, fucking let me get it. It's not an option yet. You can also just tell him to fuck off. I like the fuck off option. I always want to take that. Okay, we gotta see. Oh, okay then. I won't insist or try to sell it at a cheaper price. I can sell it to someone else. Packs crystal skull in his bag. See ya. He waves to you and leaves the room. Soon you hear Beer's caller leaving the mansion. You can go to bed now. Fall asleep. Okay, and then it's just the same things. Yeah, okay. Same things as earlier, so not important. Basically just told him to get out. As fast as we can. Get back to that. Okay, here we go. How did you obtain it? I was afraid you'd ask that because you won't believe me. After a long pause, Bill continues. It is brought to me by a diver who dived in the seashore. He said that he started hearing voices inside his head when he was in sea. Find me, the voices told him. He swam in the direction of the voices and found a floating bag. It is strange. You'd expect a skull like this should have been sunk, but it was floating. And thus the story is even stranger. Oh? After he found the bag with the skull, he continued hearing voices. They gave him my phone number. He told me that he would never do any illegal shit like giving a historical artifact to a smuggler, but he couldn't disobey the voices. And you weren't just like, okay, hang up. And you won't believe me, but when I touched the skull, I began seeing shit. Beautiful shit. Literal unicorn poop. I saw myself fucking... I'm not saying that. Can't believe it, dude. No, I will. I saw myself fucking 2 hot bitches. Can't believe it, dude. Can't believe it, dude. Okay. Bullshit. I don't expect you to believe me anyway, but you should touch the stall too. Come on. Want to hear some words for Untitled? Sure. Approach the skull and touch it with your bare hands. I should start, so I'm going dizzy. You are something magnificent. Definitely not a human anymore. Something way beyond human. A cosmic entity. You're Oh! Fuck. You're omniscient. You can see and hear the world. You're omniscient. Oh my god, what the hell is wrong with me? You're omniscient. I can't pronounce this word right now. I know what it is. You see and hear the whole universe. No secrets are kept from you. You are inside every man that exists on Earth. Now you see yourself in the form of a human. You're at the top of a hill under the sun. You are not alone. There are millions of people around the hill. They're all naked and on their knees. They chant your name. You know they are yours. You women make life hard, hentai girl. Make me hard. Yeah. Yes. Alright. And the vision ends. You feel like you've hit the ground when you were flying high in the heavens. You find yourself touching the skull, and Bill is looking at you with a smile. I told you, he says. That skull is magical. Bill's ready to questions. Who crafted this? And when? How's the day been? It's been pretty good. Today's actually been pretty good. Wednesday was pretty bad for me, but like, is it Wednesday? No, Thursday? No, it was Wednesday. Yeah, that's when my cat went missing. We found him and he's fine, but like, he literally just came home. But still, it was pretty bad. But you know, I've recovered from that. Yeah, it really had me pretty bad when he went, because I love him so much. Like he really is like so important to me, and I don't know what happened. I don't know how he got out, but you know, word of advice: your cat gets out, the litter box trick, where you take their litter box, put it outside, that actually works. Because he came back to go take a poop, and then once he realized that the door was open, he came in. So okay. Who crafted this and when? I have no idea. The skull is found in a bag in the sea. It resembles nothing I have ever seen or heard. I didn't even know it was possible to craft a baby like this. Look at it. Isn't it wonderful? So I guess the one that I said is canon is actually canon, where he just threw it into the sea. Okay. How much do you want, Bill? Ugh, €1,000,000. Normally I wouldn't sell by auction. Normally I would sell by auction, but really I don't want to keep this thing. I feel like I could lose it if I keep it for more than a few hours. You had bought much more boring things for higher prices. No thanks. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna buy it. Bill smiles. Great. Make the money transfer and the skull is yours. Transfer €1,000,000 to Bill. You open your computer once again. Of course you don't use banks for illegal stuff like that. Instead, you open your Bitcoin account. Yeah! With a few clicks, all the money is sent to the smuggler. Doesn't take long for Bill's phone to beep. He looks up and his phone smiles. It was a good deal, dude! He waves at you while leaving the study room from his empty bag. You want anything, you know to call. Soon you hear Bill's car leaving the mansion. Now you're alone in the study room with the skull. Touch the skull. Touch the skull. Something strange happened. All the lights in the room go off. Crystal starts to shine and emit white light, illuminating the room. You hear a voice, male or female. You can't figure it out in your mind. Greetings, mortal. You feel the skull's gaze into your skull. You feel the skull gaze into your soul. I can hear you. Talk to me. Just gonna watch? Okay. Are you stuck in the crystal skull? I see, hear, and know everything. My existence is far beyond this material skull. Who are you? I've got many names. Zeracel is one of them. Some perceive me as an angel, some as a demon, some as a god, some as a redditor. The truth is, there are forces in this universe inconceivable to tiny human mind, and I am one of those forces. For ages I have been worshipped by mankind and the entities unknown to your world, but I am forgotten, and I am preparing my return. Oh. What are you? Wrong question. It's who, not what. I mean, I already asked that. Do you know who I am? Yes, I know who you are. Like I know everything else. You are a billionaire who's afraid of clowns and hasn't earned his fortune with his hard work. You want to taste all kinds of joy on Earth. I can give you what you want, but it's not a coincidence that the diver and Bill brought me to you. Yes, I can give you what you want. Skywitz, what will you give me? You are stuck in a mortal human body. You can be a cosmic entity like me. You will know everything, be ageless, immortal, and worshipped. But I demand something first. What is it? Ancient civilizations always offered me something valuable. They sacrificed human lives for me. I want you to kill someone innocent. That sounds like an interesting proposition. Okay, I know someone you can kill. I like to imagine the skull immediately at this point just drops all like fucking like spooky shit. It's just like, okay, by the way, okay, I know who you can kill. Go find it. Nobody cares about the lives of prostitutes. You'll find a young girl on the street alley. Okay, I need to slow down. Nobody cares about the lives of prostitutes. You find a young girl on the alley that you will always buy something. You know what that is. Her name is Nina. She's short red hair and she's a virgin. This is going to be her first and last night. She does her job. Please, I'm begging you. I've been fucking staring at this girl for hours. I need to have her in my bed. You will recognize her when you see her. You won't need to hide anything. I like to imagine he's picking this specific girl because he's like, I'm picturing this skull as actually just being like a serious like Reddit incel stuck inside of a skull, and he's trying to like manipulate this billionaire into like fulfilling his sexual fantasies because he could never interact with a woman. This is all in my headcanon. You hide anywhere after you sacrifice her to me, as you would be above all laws of human. I guess if that's the case. I know you possess Alexander's sword. Keep it in the basement alongside your wine bottles. I want you to kill Nina with it. I mean, come on, man. He even wants you to use a sword. So you leave your study room, descend the staircase, and go to your garage, where you keep your expensive cars. You have a sports car with its distinctive red color, and another black car, which looks like a vigilante with a bat costume would drive. Choose one of them and bring the prostitute to your mansion. Why does it matter? Apparently, Black Desert Online is free on Steam until March 9th or 10th. I can check that out. Let me write it down. And if it looks cool, maybe I'll play it on stream. Okay. Is the prostitute really gonna care? It doesn't matter. Black car. So you get a black car and you drive to the alley where you find your thing we won't name. You get in the black car and drive to the alley that you always find your thing we won't name here. What? Despite the high horsepower of your car, you drive slowly in order to examine the people on the alley. Alley's almost isolated. You see only a few people you know that don't sell legal things. Who thinks you whatever? Alright then. Well, you see the silhouette of a girl with very short skirts and long legs. Clearly a prostitute. Smokes cigarettes. She coughs with every breath she takes from it. As you approach her, you see that she has a red hair like the skull described. You notice the car. She notices the car. I mean, Uncle Horn. She approaches the black car's window. She looks quite young and naive and cute. You are here for something else. Excuse me, sir. She shouts at you. I believe you seek some fun, don't you? What is this, amateur hour? Okay, let me get it straight. Do you want to fuck me for 40 euros? No, but just get in the car. Gets in the car and sits on the seat next to you. You start the car. She asks, will you bring me back here after the job is done? I'm not that experienced, to be honest. You're on your own. Okay. I can call a cab, I guess. What a fucking asshole. She could. I love that too. Like, oh yeah. 40, like, I'm gonna get paid 40 euros for this, and I'm also gonna take a cab. So, like, is it really worth it? You have to arrive in the mansion. What is your name? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All names are the same. You can call me anything. But please let it be a girl's name. Yeah? A hoot! A hoot hoot! Woo! Okay. Nina then. Ah, that's really my name. I know your name is Nina. How do you know my name? Krista Scott told me about you. Just flat out honesty. Okay. I'm running an international company, is reading minds and hearing the unsaid. She thinks that you are a fucking maniac, but she can't reject you. Why do you do this job? My dad's in jail. He's in huge debt. This is the quickest way I can earn money to help him. Okay. Don't say anything. Finally arrive at your mansion. Stop the car and get off. I'm sorry, just... You stop the car and get off, and she gets off. She looks at your mansion with awe. Wait, so were we riding... So, thing is, when I picture getting off, right here, obviously we're with a prostitute, so, like, other context, but... Getting off, do they mean like we were sitting on like the hood of the car, like the hood or like the roof of the car? Get off? I don't know, it's weird, it's really weird phrasing. For all you, she walks into the mansion and opens the door. Sword is in the basement. Take her to the basement without saying anything. You open the door that leads to the basement stairs. You turn on the lights and descend. Girl follows you. You walk past the wine case. I'm sure that you have a good taste in wine, she says. You had hidden Alexander's sword between two casks. Now you finally pull it from the spot you hid it. You stand between her and the basement door, so she can't escape from you. Wow, that sword is so... No panic, just... Oh, it's so like ancient. Who used to own it? Like, he's literally fucking holding a sword. She's just like, oh, okay. What's that? Whose sword is that? That's cool. Hoot! Hoot hoot! Woo! Hoot! Alexander the Great, who is, by the way, my favorite conqueror. Is that the sword he used to cut the Gordian knot? I know its story. He became king because he thought outside of the box. He had cut the knot instead of solving it by hand. Yeah, like I was saying. I always wanted to be someone great like him, but I ended up being a prostitute. Jeez, I mean, like, I mean, you know, you still got room for improvement, you know. I mean, not now. I'm gonna murder you, but hey. I was gonna murder you, but I can't. You fucking like Alexander the Great. I mean, who else is gonna come across someone who likes Alexander the Great? I was gonna murder you, but you can't continue your words because you start to lose control of your body. You fall on the floor paralyzed. The sword falls with you. You can no longer hold it. Then you feel something takes over your body. You stand up and pick the sword without consent. You hold the sword so the tip is on your belly. The position of harakiri. You stab the sword in your abdomen and fall on your knees, committing seppuku. The prostitute screams as you keep pulling and pushing the sword into your body till you fall on the floor. You gain control of your body once again, but it's too late. The stabs are too deep and there's nothing you can do but wait for death to come. And it comes before she can get help. Okay. Zoom! Aha, I don't need your relief. You're rich, but still mortal. I have to worship a millennia. In fact, I can kill you right now. No! Okay. So who I am. Oops. Deal. Okay. Go to your garage. Use the back car. Sound the horn. What is this? Amateur hour? Yeah, well. Oh, thank you, sir. Don't say anything. Tell everybody's not saying anything. That sword's still exciting. She used to own it. Alexander the Great. It will be great after I sacrifice you. She's surprised as fuck because of your serious manner. She understands you are not joking. What? Are you gonna kill me? Gets on her knees. Please don't kill me. Yeah. You repeatedly stab the sword in the prostitute's abdomen. Blood flows over the slit on her abdomen. Her eyes are staring at you with disbelief. She falls on the ground as you pull the sword. You understand that she died. Killing her gives you a hardness in your underwear, as you are sadist who accepts the skull's offer without hesitation. I'm glad they threw that in there. That was just for me. I feel like that was just for me. You feel you are fainting, maybe because of the adrenaline of killing a girl. Maybe something else, but you will slowly lose your consciousness. Sword in your unconscious body fall on the floor. You wake up. You lie on the basement floor, but you are naked. Your skin has a white color, as white as snow. The sword is gone. You enter the basement. You see a chair. Never had chairs on the basement, and Nina's sitting on it. She's facing you. You can't see her face. Go to Nina. Barefooted, you walk over to the chair where Nina sits on. She doesn't move and reacts to your presence. Touch your shoulder. She turns to face you. There's no flesh on her face. It's only a skull with red hair. She can still talk. You took my life. Her angry voice echoes in the bathroom. Oh my god. But she can still talk. You took my life. Her angry voice echoes in the basement. You can feel her gaze upon you, even though she doesn't have eyes. Leave the basement. Leave the basement. Something is wrong with the mansion. All the walls and floors have a rusty metal texture now. You hear a mixture of crying and laughing sounds. But you can't understand the source. Rusty walls aren't the only strange things. You see all of 6 of your servants in the entrance to the basement, welcoming you. They are not human anymore. They are mannequins with servant clothes. They stand motionless, but their heads are pointed at you. I go upstairs, I guess. Approach the staircase with the entrance going up. Go to the study room. You hear a loud choir behind you. Looking back, you see that the servants are now standing in a horizontal line at the bottom of the staircase. Somehow moved there while you didn't see them. They are staring at you, motionless, blocking the way to the exit. Go to the study room. As you find your way to the study room, you see rusty metal invading every part of your mansion. The Hilton mansion doesn't cease to surprise you. You see a man, yourself, waiting for you in the study room. To be exact, someone who looks exactly like you, with a black suit. He holds a sword in his hand. He smiles at you. Hello, my friend. You recognize the Crystal Skull's voice. Think you like how I look now? Because I am you now. What have you done in my mansion? I altered it to my liking. I told you I had powers. But I need to regain them. By giving me a sacrifice, you gave me the power of manipulating reality. Once again, I should thank you for that. But I won't, because I don't need you anymore. You lied to me. Yes, I did. So what are you going to do about that? You're so weak and vulnerable. You have no choice against a man holding a sword, should you try to attack him. What do you want? I was worshipped in old times, but modern people have forgotten me. I want my rights back. I want my rights, goddammit! You were a fool with money. You had the potential to be one of those people who rule the world, but you spent your money on your mortal pleasures. I'm going to use your inheritance the right way. What have you done to me? Oh, I altered you too. He points to the rusty metal wall. The curtain cover it. There's never a curtain before. There's a mirror behind it. Look at yourself. You open the curtain and confront the reflection on the mirror. You're a fucking clown! You have a big red nose. There's makeup around your mouth. Warm shape of a smile. In reality, you're so far from smiling. You are terrified. It's permanent, he says as you break down and start crying. Ah! Oh no, you're a fucking clown! Oh, of all the punishments in this world. Hold on one sec, I gotta send a text. Okay, back to the clown shit. Oh, now I feel allow me, he says, touching your right shoulder. I've got places to go. He walks to the door with the sword in his hand. While he's about to leave, you see Nina at the entrance of the study room. Her body's human, but hers is a skull with hair. Let me leave you alone with Nina, he says. Oh no. After he leaves, Nina starts to walk at you, stumbling, as if one of her legs was crippled. You should have never bought that skull. Cool. There's one more ending we didn't get. My guess is that we're gonna tell the skull to fuck off. Open the door. Study room. Do you want? Oh yeah. Who are you? A god, I don't believe you. Haha, I don't need your belief. You are rich, but still mortal. I haven't worshipped a millennia ago before you were born. I'll still exist after your death. Your lifespan is my minute. In fact, I can kill you right now like a worthless insect. Do you want to die? Go ahead. Try it, loser. Suddenly, you feel a tremendous agony in your whole body. It feels like a giant stepping on you as if you were a tiny little insect. You're unable to breathe. You fall on the carpet with unbearable pain. You squirm and try to catch your breath, but it chokes you. 15 seconds that felt like an eternity. It releases you. Hear the words in your mind. I'm a merciful God. Give me what you demand. I won't kill anybody. Suddenly you fall to the floor. You try to stand up. You feel your whole body is paralyzed. You stand up, but not voluntarily. Something controls your body. You walk to the window of the study room and opens it. Wait, if you could just do that in the first place, why didn't you just do that? Or you look as the concrete floor tenuous window pane is on, and it lets your body fall. You gain control of your body once again while you are in air, but there's nothing you do to prevent the fatal fall. Newspapers will write that the rich billionaires commit suicide. Okay. Yeah, that was the other ending. Alright. Madness, an infinite loop. Oh, look. Oh, shit, it's a TV and a TV! Oh, shit! You are doomed to live in a depressing Monday, which keeps repeating itself. No matter what you do, you can't wake up on the same day, even if you commit suicide. It's like Groundhog Day, but fun. You can keep your mortals in mental health, but nothing you do is permanent. And why are you stuck in this infinite loop? Play to find out. You wake up in your bed. You wish you were dead. In fact, you should have been dead. You committed suicide lots of times before, but no. There is no afterlife for you, only the repeat of the same day. Not only do you hate your never-ending day, but also yourself. You have an obligation to go to work. You hate your job, a small cubicle cold office. Maybe you do something crazy today and spend the day at home or kill yourself. Why even bother going to work if like you keep repeating the day anyway? Maybe go to work and then like do crazy shit, because that'd be fun. You're in the bedroom. It's a rainy morning. There's a wooden table near your bed. On the table is your alarm clock and a picture of you with your ex-wife. There's a drawer beneath the table. Open the drawer. You open the drawer. There's only one important item there. Your 9mm pistol. It has a capacity of 17 rounds. Pick up the pistol. Oh, okay. Put the muzzle of the 9mm inside your mouth and pull the trigger. Oh, God. You wake up in your bed. You wish you were dead. Okay. It literally is gonna loop. Nice. I was just hoping to be like, oh, this time you didn't wake up. Oh, okay. I'm streaming. Sorry about that. Pick up the pistol. Go to the bathroom. Look in the mirror. You see, I love how the shoot yourself option is still there. See that you need to shave. Your beard grew in a few millimeters. Bad enough for your work. You wish you can scar your face with your razor to cut your wrist to commit suicide. Because you wake up with an intense self-hate each morning. Let's just fucking calm down, dude. Let's just shave. I don't even know why you bother, since it's not like it's gonna grow anymore anyway. Hey, how you look when you don't have facial hair? Your man says you look like an egg this way. My God, shut the fuck up. Get it over with. You put the pistol in front of the mirror as you don't need it anymore. Pick up the razor, take all the clothes, step inside the bathroom. The sink said you stay horizontally. Soon you lose consciousness along with your blood. Bathtub gets filled with your blood. And then you wake up. Oh, I'm taking the gun again. I'm taking it every time. Because I just want to see. Shave. Cut your face. Pick up the razor and start cutting your face with self-hatred. Blood dripping out of each scar. At the end of 5 minutes of massacre's action, you leave your face with so many scars that your face looks red. Go to the living room. In the living room now. Now your old television, worn sofa in front of your dispersed suit is on the sofa. Either go to work or spend the whole day watching television. You probably get fired if you choose it. Why would it matter? Spend a day. I just realized the shoot yourself option was still there. Oh, it's gone now. First channel you see airs the news. The news are a war going on in a distant part of the planet. You see bombed homes, dead children under the debris. Immigrants are trying to flee on overcrowded boats. Next channel, please. Second channel airs a beauty contest. But for little kids, you see kids with makeup. Your painted faces disgust you. The jury consists of elder men, as it usually goes for these things. Turn on the next station. Third channel is an advertisement about a new antidepressant that shows a woman running with happiness in a field of grass and flowers. But you notice that the grass and flowers are plastic. Wow, it's like some kind of fucking, unedited footage of a bear. But like, no, it literally is, thinking about it. That's basically what it is. Turn on the next channel. Now you see something you'd never expect to see on television. A man in a suit, but his head is a goat skull. The man, or demon, with the goat skull gazes into your soul. He asks, "You're stuck in an infinite loop? Do you remember why this is happening to you?" No. "Let me show you then. You won't like it." Television shows your ex-wife's face. She's crying in despair. 9mm pistol gets in frame. It's pointed at her head. The trigger is pulled and she's dead. Camera now shows the man who pulled the trigger. It's you! You see yourself cry like a baby. You killed her, but you still loved her. Television fades away. What will you do? God damn it. Go to sleep. My sleep has been your best friend. They make you sleep instantly. You could like them more if they made you wake up a different day, though. You take 2 pills and go to sleep. You wake up in your bed. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Da, nah, nah. Take the pistol because I want to see. Okay. Look out the window. You're on the 13th and top floor of the apartment building. The sky is covered with gray clouds. Grayness is reflected upon everything you see. People are walking in a hurry. Some of them don't have umbrellas on this rainy morning. There are no green trees, only high concrete structures. There isn't any trace of happiness out there. Well, I mean, hey, I like the city. I think the city's pretty fucking cool. Jackass. Look at the alarm clock. It says 7 a.m. Monday. And it's green LCD lights. This is the exact time you wake up each repeating morning. And it is always Monday, whenever you wake up. Look at the picture. The photograph shows you, your ex-wife, at the beach. While you were on your honeymoon, she has the long black hair, brown eyes, and a pretty face. She was the prettiest woman for you when you were together. You both look so happy in this frame, with sincere smiles. But it was past. You feel a terrible guilt looking at this picture. Go to the bathroom, shave, might as well cut your face too, fuck it. Go to the living room, watch TV. Yeah, actually, and let me just remind you something. You can actually redeem yourself, but you have to find it out. Oh. Those are the only options once again. Well, let's just go with the quick one, I guess, which is... There we go. Now, let's... Open the drawer, pick up the pistol. Let's go to work and do something funny, I guess. You wear your suit and head out to work. It's a rainy day, but you have lost your umbrella. You get wet till you reach the subway station. It takes 15 minutes till you reach there. Carry your gun in the back of your trousers. It's hidden by your jacket. While descending the stairs to the subway station, you pass by 2 teenagers smoking cigarettes. They're at most 13 years old. The kids are afraid of you because of what you did to your face. You never wanted to have kids, but probably be like those teenagers who began smoking at this early age. You took a sterilization operation a few years ago, but your wife didn't know about it. Cool. People in the subway station look at you with horror and surprise. Probably they would have never seen someone cut his face this way. You can't expect people to react normally to what you've done. And then kill everybody! Pull out your gun. People look at you in horror. As time freezes, nothing is moving but you. This phone rings. Despite you being a subway station, the caller's named Dominus. But you've never had someone with that name call your phone. Answer phone. Start speaking before you... person who calls you starts speaking before you could say hello to him. Do you know who I am? Asks in a deep male voice. Probably a guy on the TV. It's good that you finally know me, but you are stuck with me forever. Then he hangs up. Time turns back to normal, but this time, everybody you wanted to kill forms a circle around you and starts walking at you. Your gun malfunctions and you can't shoot anyone. Feel your pulse beat weaken. You are blacking out as people approach you. On the ground unconsciously. Okay. I'm kind of curious, we'll say if, let's continue exactly how we did it before, but we'll say no. I'm a captain and punisher, this is exactly what we punish, then he hangs up, okay. Gotta take the pistol. This time, let's not cut our face. You overhear one of them say, so while ascending the stairs, there are 13. You overhear one of them say, I watch TV to remember. Never wanted to have, yeah, I see. So that was supposed to be a hint as to understanding what happened in this. Wait for the train to come. You're waiting 10 minutes to see the approaching lights of the subway tunnel. Jump on the rails. Get on the subway. The train stops, and you get within. You get in it with the crowds of commuters, and it departs. After 15 minutes, you arrive at the ugly gray skyscraper that you call office building. Jeez. Entrance of your office to the 13th floor of the skyscraper. You see your boss. He is the man you hate most, an overweight bald man with a black mustache. Oh my god, it's Mr. Monopoly! You always wanted to murder him. You always controlled your anger somehow. Because once you react in anger, you just control yourself. He stares at you. Kill your boss. You point your gun directly at your boss. He looks at you and your gun in disbelief. You shoot your boss at the head and he falls on the floor. Of course, they arrest you for doing that. Yeah, I would imagine so. We are in custody in police station. You are in a cold concrete cell. The evening, a police officer comes to your cell. You have a visitor, he says. A woman with a long red coat approaches the bars. But the most interesting part is her wearing a Venice mask on her face. Her face is not visible. She recognizes the woman by her body and black hair. She is your ex-wife. She turns to the policeman. Leave me alone with him. She orders the man. He leaves the room. You're alone with your ex-wife. I'm sure that you are surprised to see me once again, she says. And I am surprised about one thing, too. You've finally done something that you wish to do. It's your only success in life. Your only success is to take a life. She takes off her mask. There is no face under the mask. It's a skull remaining from a rotten body. Now her voice echoes in the concrete cell. You are a murderer. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, you can't change what happened. You wake up in your bed. Still taking a gun. Kind of wonder what happens if I go to work with a cut face. Oh, whoops, jumped on the rails. Forbid you from getting near the rails. The car watches you jump on the rails. Land the rails motionless. The train approaches you. The crowd shouts and signals the masochist to stop. Apparently the machine doesn't notice. Or maybe there aren't mechanists in the train. Oh, it's mechanist. Okay. Machinist. Either way, the train runs over your body. Oh no. Get on the subway, okay. He stares at you. Go to your cubicle. You're about to go to your cubicle and your boss stops you. What the fuck have you done to your face? I knew you were sick fuck, but this is too much. Fuck off. I don't want you here in my office anymore. You're fired. Go home. Nothing personal belongs in your office, so you go straight home. Nothing interesting happens until you reach home. Okay. I'm just not gonna take the fucking gun this time. Fall asleep, you find yourself in a dream. You never had any dreams during the time which you got stuck in the loop. In this dream, you find yourself at the entrance of your apartment with your suit on. It is nighttime. Apparently, you have arrived home from a tiring day at work. No lights on in the apartment, but candle lights are coming from your kitchen. You hear the voice of your wife coming from the candlelit kitchen. Honey, welcome. Go to the kitchen. She's standing in the kitchen with a pretty smile on her face. She's wearing a red dress. 2 candles are lit in the kitchen desk. 2 dishes of spaghetti bolognese and a bottle of wine are also on the desk. You're surprised because you'd never seen her this alive since the infinite loop began. While you are able to say nothing, she holds your hands. I have great news to tell you. What is it, honey? I'm pregnant. You remember you had a sterilization operation before without letting your wife know. The tantrum is about to overwhelm you. The situation makes you unable to say anything. Slap her! Slap your wife and she falls on the floor. She starts crying and your vision gets blurry. The tantrum starts taking over your body and mind. You slowly lose consciousness, still standing on your feet. You gain consciousness right after a loud gunshot. Your wife is back on her knees. Now she's fallen back with the impact. The bullet shot to her head. Gun. She got his head in your trembling hands. Yeah, we get it. You loved your wife more than anything else in this world. Now I see you lying dead with a scattered brain, blood spattered on the whole kitchen. Wake up in your bed. Okay. We're not gonna grab the gun. Alright. Front of the old computer, monitor has big 2 on it before you hate. You start working on your shitty duties. You do repetitive things that should have been done by an automated system. The only break is looking at social media. It's actually forbidden in the office, but you found a back door. You see a picture of a friend of yours at the beach. He is with your ex-wife and her new boyfriend. You'd actually blocked your ex-wife and your boyfriend so that you wouldn't see them once again. It doesn't work if they're shown in another person's photo. The couple looks so happy together. Look happier than the time. Than how she was with you. But what the hell? Nothing interesting happens during the rest of the day. You feel quiet sleeping. I don't remember taking sleeping pills. The kitchen. What is it, honey? Try to get calm. Telling what is wrong. Explain the operation. Listens carefully as you explain how you got an operation makes you unable to become a father. She defends herself, but I swear, you're the only man. I don't know how. How about you see the doctor once again? Can they be mistaken that operation? This is actually something that does happen. Sometimes, even when you get your, even when you get snipped, it can still not work or actually heal itself over time. So, I probably wouldn't jump to conclusions. You might want to get a test first. But hey, she's probably a cheating bitch. I ain't gonna, like, you know. You guys don't expect, something you don't expect something you don't expect starts happening. You start feeling that you are waking up from the dream, but you aren't in your bed now. You're still in the kitchen, but as an entity without a body. It's possible to say at which point you are in three-dimensional space. Presence covers all the kitchen, and you see everything. You see the lying bodies of the two dead people, your wife and yourself, gun in your hands, pointed at your head. Feel the presence of the second entity, but it is not your wife. It is a demon or angel that keeps you in this loop. Hear his voice. Do you know what? She was right. She never cheated on you. The operation wasn't successful. Yeah, see? You are at the end of the road that goes down to redemption. The loop is broken. Now follow me. I will show you where souls go. Alright, so we did that one. Woo! Yeah, fuck. And then, a Ouija. I'm gonna take a quick BRB, and we'll finish these up. Okay, yeah, I'll be back in, probably like 5 minutes. I'm gonna check and see what's going on with food, and see what's going on with, and just let my voice rest a bit, you know, drink some stuff. Come back in like 5-10 minutes. And we'll do this last one, and then we'll probably also check out the creepypasta wiki and look at some creepypasta. So, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back! Wah! Okay, sorry. You are a single father. Your wife, Linda, passed away while giving birth to your son a year ago. You will be able to use a Ouija board in contact with an entity who claims to be Linda in this story. New Jersey, 1981. Your single father, your wife, Linda, passed away a year ago at childbirth. Son's name is Mark. He's a cute baby boy with blue eyes that he got from his mother. As expected, you are in agony with the loss of your wife. Mark is the only thing you hold on to, all that matters. You have been in love with Linda since the first time you saw her. She was so pretty. You wanted to be with her forever. It still surprises you to have such a charming woman fall in love with you, too. During Linda's pregnancy, you lost your job at some point while having debts. She supported you in every way she could. Not only she was your wife, but also your friend. Found another job after Mark was born and Linda died, but of course, didn't make you a happy man when you lost your best friend and wife. Looking in Mark's blue eyes gives you all the strength to go on as a single father. See the future in his eyes, in the past. Past where you were happy with your family, in spite of everything falling apart. You would lose everything if you lost Mark. Another reason what made Linda and Mark so significant is you had lost your parents too. Basically, you had no family members left except for your son. Nobody to consult for things that you need to talk with a family member. Linda's parents, you don't see those assholes anymore. They have done nothing wrong to you. They have done wrong to you and Linda. Okay. It's a foggy morning. You're taking a walk in an isolated green forest. It's close to the suburb you live. You can't see anything but fog beyond 5 meters. There is a single path, and you are walking it. You know that the path leads to a lake. You have been there countless times. There's nobody else you can see here in this forest, but somehow you feel that something awaits you at the end of that path. You reach a lake and you encounter a woman who looks uncannily familiar. Standing at the side of the lake, she's turning her back to you. You see that she has blonde hair and a black dress. So familiar. Slowly turn back and face you with a smile on her beautiful face. She is nobody but Linda, completely alive. You miss me, darling? Back in ya! I miss you so much. I long to be with you too. Again, there is a way. She holds your hands. By the Ouija board. I will talk to you through that. You know what a Ouija, pronounced Ouija or Ouija board is. There's a board, letters, and numbers on it that's used to talk with spirits. And also, generally, your friends will fuck with you when you use it. It's pretty good for fucking with your friends. A strong wind starts blowing. Blink of an eye. Her flesh turns into ashes. A harsh wind carries the black ashes away, leaving a grim skeleton standing with you. You find yourself holding the hands of a skeleton who looks into your very soul. Carved eyes on her skull. Oh no. You wake up. It was a dream. A repeating one. You keep having this dream every night. It started a few days ago. It's Monday morning now. You're still in your bedroom. It's winter, but still sunny. So getting off your bed, you take a look at yourself in the mirror hanging on the wall. You look worn out. The interesting thing about this is, it's winter, but still sunny. I don't know if this is unusual, but I live in a place that usually when it's winter, it is really sunny. And like, the sun reflects off the snow, and it is literally the brightest it is all year in the winter. So, just a weird statement to me. Check on Mark. Your house has 2 stories. Bedrooms are on the upper ones. You walk into Mark's bedroom, which he is next to yours, trying not to make a sound. Slowly open the wooden door of the bedroom. Your son sleeps peacefully in his cradle. You would expect a 1-year-old to make noise at this time, but Mark is not such a boy. He rarely cried. He's a happy boy. That's actually how I was as a baby. I was such a good baby owl boy. I never cried. Bedroom walls are painted in a calming tone of blue. Circle of toys are hanging upon the cradle. Cute figures of a lion, sun, red cat, moon are the parts of this installment. There's a big poster and a yellow baby bird on the wall. You change Mark's diapers, like you always do in the mornings. After you complete changing the diapers, the doorbell rings. It's probably the caretaker, Isabella. She comes every morning at this hour. You go downstairs and open the door. "Good morning, sir," says Isabella. She's a woman in her 20s with curly black hair and brown eyes. She steps into your house. Your daily routine starts with making the breakfast. Isabella takes care of Mark. You go to the work after the breakfast unless it's weekend. Isabella walks in the kitchen, opens the fridge, and picks up the formulated milk for babies without mothers. Talk about the dream. I mean, sane. Before Isabella leaves the kitchen, tell her everything you saw in the recurring dreams and how Linda asked you to use a Ouija board to communicate with her. You see how surprised Isabella is. "Sir, don't do that. It is dangerous. You shouldn't mess with the dead. You should only mess with the dead for the lulz." Isabella climbs up the stairs to take care of Mark. You are hungry. You need to make breakfast. You like listening to music on the radio while making breakfast. Will you turn on the radio today? I guess? Turn on the radio. The song playing is Sunny from Boney M. I don't know how the song goes. Sunny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. Sunny, you smiled at me and eased the pain. The dark days are gone and the bright days are here. My sunny one shines so sincere, shining one to you too. I love you. Okay. You like that song? It kind of reminds you of the happy times you had with Linda. You make yourself an omelet and a hot cup of coffee. That's your daily routine. After you finish your breakfast, it's time to leave the house. Will you buy a Ouija board? You can go to a toy store to buy it before going to work, or you can refuse to buy it, thus refusing to contact what you're seeing in your dreams. I always like the no, never mind options first, so say goodbye to Isabella and go to work without buying a Ouija board. Nothing interesting happens the rest of the day. Usual, depressing, boring life continues. You no longer see Linda in your dreams. Did she give up on you? Or what trespassed your dreams was something but your lovely wife's soul? You'll never know. Maybe it's for the best. Okay. Safe from the Ouija board because he never bought it. Aww. I always pick the best options, apparently. And usually the best option is just like, yeah, just don't do the thing that the whole story is set up for. One thing I remember is I actually used to read a lot of these interactive stories. Like I specifically remember reading all of the interactive Goosebumps books. Something I always remembered is usually there was a page in one of the books that would just insult you for wanting to like just end the story, or just by doing something sane. And they're like, "Hey, don't you want to like have fun with the story? Why are you doing this? Like, you didn't come in here for fucking for nothing." Go back and pick the other option, you dummy. How is that possible? All that we see or seen is but a dream. All that we see or seen is but a dream within a dream. I don't remember what that quote is from. Yeah. By the Ouija board. Sorry being a winter's day. It's not cold outside. There's a toy store, you know. This is where you buy Mark's toys. You remember seeing a Ouija board there. It doesn't take long to reach the store. You enter the store and start searching for the board among all the colorful toys. You find a box. It looks quite different from the other toys. It doesn't look cute. Not something you buy from your kid. It's a grim-looking Ouija board. Since it's a Ouija board, it's definitely made by Hasbro, since they fucking trademarked that that term. Now the board. Pick up the box of the Ouija board and move to the cash point. The cashier is a brunette young woman. She gets surprised to see the box. Ah, you want to buy that? What will you use it for, if I may ask? I think it's none of your business, goddammit. She frowns. Okay, I had to warn you. It won't bring good. Don't use it by yourself, at least. And never ask when or how someone will die. Using it by yourself, honestly, it's the same reason that Kokore-san requires you to have someone there. It's because it doesn't work unless someone is fucking with you. Sorry, not sorry. You pay the board's price and move on. You put it in a plastic bag with the logo of the toy store and go to your office. As an accountant, you think that you would have a dull job. Nothing interesting happens during the work. You have no friends to talk to. After the shift ends, you're ready to go home. Darkness has fallen. Okay. Knowing Isabella is at home, ringing the doorbell when you arrive home. Welcome, she says with a smile after opening the door. The shift ends when you come home. She got ready to head off. Mark is sleeping peacefully. He has just started sleeping, Isabella says before leaving the house. Ask her to assist you in the seance. Hey, you want to do a fucking seance? Sorry, can't do that. You mustn't either. Isabella leaves. You are alone with Mark now. Before starting the seance, you climb the... Oh, just have Mark help you. Starting the seance, you climb the stairs and check on Mark. He looks so happy and peaceful while sleeping. Close the door and descend the stairs. You will use the board in your living room. There's a table you can use there. You had heard that it is best to turn the lights off before talking to a Ouija board. Naturally. So you get a candle from the kitchen and light it. And you turn on the lamps. So the only thing that enlightens the room is the candle. You pull the wooden board out from its box and place it on the table. Then you get the planchette. Fuck French. Wooden part of the box you just put your finger on. The summoning entity is supposed to move the planchette with your finger on it. Are you ready? No. Oh, by the way, just want to point this out. If you believe in ghosts and shit, that's all well and good, you know. Believe what you want to. I'm gonna let you know right now. Ouija board is fake. Does not work. It is just a prank. If you've ever used one, if you've ever used one and you genuinely believe that you've encountered a ghost, I'm sorry, your friend is an asshole and they were fucking with you. Moving on. I am ready. Oh, cool. Could I actually use the thing? Linda? Oh, that's kind of fucking cool. Alright. That's a little cool. What do you want to tell me? Oopsie. Okay. Are you really Linda? Will I bring Mark up as well? Okay. Are you watching us from there? Fuck you, ghost. Take that. What's the matter? You can't do it while I'm not holding it? Fuck you. You're fucked. Okay. What do you want to tell me? Oh, what's that? Oh, get fucked? Oh. Zizo! Even. What do you want to tell me? Jubu. What you boo? What you boo? Okay. Next page. Why did you return? Moon? Why do you return, spirit? You're not telling me anything, damn it. What does moon mean? Oh, okay. I'd say. If it just goes to moon again, that's fucking useful. Jesus Christ. Kitwaddle. Kitwaddle. What do you want from me? Okay. Should I move on with my life and meet new women? Oh, thanks, Linda. Fucking bitch. Trying to move on here. Why did you leave us? Fun. Oh. Did not. Are you peaceful? No. Okay. So you're aggressive. Okay. Why are you restless? Such a useful spirit I'm communicating with. When did we get married? Okay. What's your favorite color? When will we be together? Never. Well, that's rude. When will I die? "5 years. But my boy will only be 6. That's not good. How will I die? Tragic train accident. Suey? I don't want to do a Suey. When will Mark die? Today? Oh no. But he's just a baby boy. How will Mark die? Me? Oh. About to say, that's Myrtle. Oh no. Who will kill Mark? You. Me? Oh, is this me? Yeah. Edgy as fuck ghost. Why will you kill Mark? Could you elaborate? You have a whole fucking alphabet here. Goodbye. And the planchette throws itself. It flies to the window of the living room, breaking it. He already in the kitchen started to play. Something turned it on. Played a sinister voice that laughed. Laughter of a clown! What's with the clown shit, though? It doesn't stop. You feel it mocking you. Probably check on Mark. You climb the stairs to hear Mark crying in his room. That's certainly not good. Open the door. You try to open the door of Mark's room. It's locked. Break the door. The door is not broken yet. You hear the muffled scream of Mark. Kick the door again. You rush into Mark's cradle. A pillow covers his face. It's apparent he was choked. Mark shows not a sign of life. He's dead! You cry in despair. You were warned not to use the Ouija board. Now you're alone with your remorse. Soon you call 911. Nobody believes that Mark was killed by a supernatural entity. All the proof shows that Mark was killed by his father. You get arrested. Time flies fast. Nothing gets better. You're sentenced to life for killing your son. Spend the rest of your life alone in a cell. And that's how your psychological problems start. You find yourself thinking about morbid matters, like the rotten corpses of Linda and Mark, or what Mark has seen while it choked him to death, or how the Guardians would react if they found you have hung yourself. Sometimes you start laughing hysterically, but there's nothing funny to laugh at. Sometimes you throw wild tantrums, screaming with anger between the four walls of your cell. Are you going mad, or is it taking you over? There's no difference, honestly. In the 5th year of imprisonment, you decide to end the dire suffering, and you succeed. Okay. Yeah, that's good. We did it. I mean, that's... Well, that was Interactive Horror Stories. It's free on Steam. So if you feel like you want to mess around with it, maybe you didn't catch the first episode and you want to see the doll after funeral and Crystal Skull, go right ahead. I always enjoy reading just horror stories and stuff like this, so I enjoyed it. Okay, so close this. We're done with it. Just pause this fucking creepy Christmas music. Actually, no, we'll let it finish. Wow, thanks, Mio. Okay, and then boom. Yeah, that's right. Creepypasta wiki. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, what was that? Oh, sorry. Um, so hold on. Let's change in our horror stories. Just chatting, since we're not doing that anymore. Okay. Yeah. We have a bunch of categories here. Memes. Stories that are well cemented in creepypasta lore are a certified meme. Hmm. Genre categories. Beings. Some unknown being, often with malicious intent. There's 3,000 of them. I'm sure, I mean, there's overlap, I'm sure, with most of these, but, Theory. I think we should probably go theory. I mean, come on, this looks pretty. I don't know, because some of this just looks like it's literally just like theories and stuff. Like, yeah, this is just the theory of um Gengar being the doppelganger to Clefable, which is 100% true. That was even confirmed by Nintendo. Yeah. Or like, what was the one I saw? Who are you running from? I don't know what the fucking theory could be with this. This is just some test stuff. This was just like a secret Easter egg thrown into the Nintendo uh the Game Boy camera, I believe. And like they were just Easter eggs. There's a few of them. No, world's going to go with it. This picture is a result of kidnapping done by It is believed these pictures are the results of a kidnapping done by a strange cult. The figure with a black star on his forehead is said to be the leader of the group, while the ones with waves were said to be his disciples. Faces without any symbols and the dark skull is believed to be the unlucky victim. It is unclear what condition of the victim is in the photograph or how these pictures managed to be included in the game. The motive of the cult is also unclear, and nobody that resembles the victim was ever recorded. I don't sleep because of this. Bye. One. Where are you running from? Don't be so silly, brah. Same guy. Nintendo, go fuck yourself. Please. XD. Where are you running from? From demons like you. This became Omega Flower. God, I'm having a better time with the fucking comments. Where are you running from? I'm running from the demons of the back rooms. Why not? Finally, a real creepypasta. Why are you running? I hear this literally every time I see the title of this page. Oh, Game Brother. You know, I love some of these old theory obscure internet game pastas too. Contrary to what tone I give, the one is just so stupid and funny. Most people in the 90s would get this one. That's why I made it special. Newer generations aren't really going to get a kick out of the camera the same way. Not to mention it draws the lazeless parallels between horror and weird video game stuff. Oh, weird man is said to be in a cult. I said with zero evidence to support the claim. I'm just super uninteresting and pointless, and I love fucking jerking myself off while I type this shit. Nintendo, why did you add this? It scares the crap out of me. Well, there goes my hopes of sleeping tonight. I used to have a Game Boy camera back when I was 7, back in 2011. I didn't really like the story, and it was good. Up to the final paragraph. Don't be so silly. I had a Game Boy camera as a kid that ran around taking wacky pictures of my family. I could actually see the faces. As a kid, I thought they were dumb and kind of funny, but now they're just creepy. I mean, they're just dumb Easter eggs. One never considers the dudes in the pictures weren't drawn on by Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is trying to be a ghost type, lol. And he prefaced it with joke. Pasta is really weak. Unfortunately, he was getting so good reading all the descriptions of the creepy faces, but the last paragraph kills it. This isn't really a creepy pasta. Actually, no reason came to the conclusion that was posted. It's kind of certainty. Would find the cult theory having one of the many presented, but as it is, it just reads like a cheap attempt to creep people out. Very interesting. 6.5 out of 10. 5.2 out of 10. This is true or fake? It's true, man. It's just some creepy stuff back in the day. Well, not the cult thing, but this is real. I don't give it the whole cult thing, but the faces do pop up. 9 out of 10. I never heard of this before. I think I would. It'd be under some kind of video game urban legend. I doubt it's true. The setup is great here, though. Who are you running from? Debunked. So first, the faces were simply just Nintendo employees making silly faces and drawing over them. Secondly, female face is one of the creator's daughters. And plus, the screens are actually called silly screens, and Nintendo revealed that they were supposed to be in the game. Horror music that plays with these faces pops up as anything but silly. It kind of is silly. I wonder if I can find it, actually. Hold on, see, is this it? Yeah, this is it. This is the music that plays when it first shows up. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah. That's the music. It's not very creepy. Let's see, what else we got? Yeah. Here's another one. Alright. That one's kind of ear rapey. Like, see why that one might be creepy a little bit. Alright, it's enough of that. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. Okay. The Rugrats theory. Ash's coma. Hairy hands. It's the guy that like pulls you off the road, right? It's just a costume. Ooh, it's so spooky with hyper realistic teeth. You ever wondered how the mascots at Walt Disney World must get in the humid Floridian air, or how they can dance around and wave without ever seeming to get tired? I never really paid much attention to it. I always wanted to believe it was just Disney magic, get these poor people in the burning costumes going. No, it's the need to work at Disney even for a minimum wage. But like most things, unfortunately, it's not that simple. It was summer 2006. I was 14 at the time and took a well-deserved vacation with my family down to Florida to have a magical vacation at the happiest place on earth. Along with my mom, my sister, and of course, me, was my Uncle Rick. He lived in Florida, so it wasn't uncommon for him to accompany us on our trips down to Disney World. I visited Disneyland often because it was only a 5-hour drive from our home in Phoenix. So, as you can imagine, it's always a big treat for us to fly down to Florida. As someone who has lived in the Phoenix area, that's true. Me, my mom, and my sister were all huge Disney fans. When I say huge, I mean huge. Disney memorabilia all over our home, seeing Disney movies on opening night and day. Anything Disney, we've done it. It's one of the reasons why the story is so painful to tell, along with many others. Whatever, Disney fucking sucks. I hate Disney. They go out of their way to ruin creative freedom. Fuck them. My Uncle Rick, on the other hand, wasn't such a big Disney buff. He was in fact the opposite. He was a very religious man, always rambling on about stories of good old days when he was a teacher at Sunday school. Uncle Rick was significantly older. Hold on. I realize this might be a little hard for you to read. Let's zoom in a bit. That's better. Good old days. When he was a teacher at Sunday school. Uncle Rick was significantly older than my mother. They were 12 years apart, I think. I was never a religious kid, nor am I now. That didn't affect my relationship with my Uncle Rick. He was a great man, always happy, funny, and he had something about him that made everyone who knew him smile when you brought him up. Couldn't have asked for a better man to be my mother's brother. Uncle Rick had always had his likes and dislikes about Disney World. His dislikes consisted of the unnatural happiness of the people there, crowds, the loud sounds, the rides. I don't know how he couldn't have loved Pirates of the Caribbean either, especially the way the people in those mascot costumes had to stand there for extended periods of time in the blazing heat, just so people could get a picture with them. Fun fact, if you break character one time in those fucking costumes for any reason, even if you are suffering from heat stroke and you throw up, you're fired. It's a breach of contract. You're gone. This is not a joke either. This is why you don't see them running around this is why you see them doing this stuff. They have to just suffer through it. Because if they don't, they lose their job. Literally being a Disney mascot, walking around like the Disney parks is probably the single worst job I could imagine. And the thing is too, is like it's not like they're gonna be pressed to find people. If people want to work for this company, people for some reason want to work for this fucking just dog shit company, no matter like what, just because they love the movies, I guess. They're just gonna ignore everything that sucks about Disney and just be like, yeah, I'll work for Disney because I want to work for Disney. I don't care what the conditions are like. Alright, I'm actually also going to turn the creepypasta music back on. Try to explain to him that it's their job and that they aren't in any danger. Well, okay, that. But he always would find a way to counter my argument. Oh, and his legs consist of turkey legs, even though he would still complain about how they were overpriced. He never seemed pleased when he was at Disney World. It was obvious the only reason he was there was because he wanted to spend time with us. This particular trip to Disney World was different, though. Everything was fine and dandy until we pulled to the Walt. Everything was fine and dandy until we pulled up to the Walt Disney World gate that greets you at the entrance of the Disney property. I noticed that he had an uneasy. Jesus fucking Christ. Bad enough that you have the ad there at all, let alone making it do that. Fuck me. I ain't doing that. You can fuck right off. Alright. Yeah, it's not perfect anymore, but whatever. Everything's fine, Danny, until we pull in the Walt Disney World gate that greeted you at the entrance of the Disney property. I noticed that he had an uneasy look on his face as we passed under it. He then got unusually quiet up until we had already parked and left the car. Instead of talking about the unusual stories of his good old days, he began talking about a much darker subject. Heck. It took me off guard, considering he never really brought up subjects unless he's telling us to not say it. I just looked at him as he went on talking about suffering. He goes on down there and how he hopes we never have to experience anything like that. Then my mom, when she overheard his ramblings, abruptly ordered him to cut it off. Just be happy that you're here. I never heard my Uncle Rick talk like that. He'd always been so joyful. I tell that tone in his voice that he was genuinely concerned, but I couldn't figure out what had gotten into him and make him that upset. I also couldn't get what he said out of my head. I don't want you to ever experience suffering like that. I didn't know what he meant, so. He seemed very unlike himself. He was sad, not frustrated, not annoyed, just sad. I kept asking him what was wrong, but he just looked the other way and ignored me. We'd been in the Magic Kingdom Park for an hour and a half. I wasn't able to enjoy any of it, considering I was concerned for Uncle Rick the whole time. We'd gone on a few rides. Uncle Rick usually tends to go on rides with us, even though he doesn't exactly enjoy them. This time he refused to go on any, and he just sat near the exit waiting for us to get off. About to go on the Haunted Mansion when I decided I would hold off and sit down with Rick. Took a seat next to him and we just sat there, quietly, for about half an hour. You ever been to Disney World or Walt Disney? Then you know how long the lines get. Finally, he muttered something to me. What? I said, trying to direct my focus. I was told something bad had happened today. I barely understand his quiet voice over all the commotion around us. What? By who? I said urgently back to him. Something unholy, he says as tears roll down his cheek. Fucking death metal at Disney, yeah! My heart dropped. This isn't the usual Uncle Rick talking. His Uncle Rick was just a sad, miserable shell of himself. When my sister and my mom finally got off the ride, I remembered looking up and seeing my joyful mom staring down at me. I've always been so genuinely sad that Uncle Rick was so miserable, and that I too had been crying. Though I didn't ever notice until my mom shouted at me. Seriously? You too? You have to be kidding me. Do you know how much goddamn money I spent in this place so you can have a good time? That's when I realized I was in the happiest place on earth, and I was still crying like a baby. I stood up and said, "You're right. Let's go to Space Mountain. You coming, Uncle Rick?" I remember the look he gave me. It was of absolute sorrow. I felt guilty as he slowly pried himself from the bench. Our way over to Space Mountain, came across a Mickey Mouse mascot giving out autographs and taking photos with excited children. My sister, who was younger than I was, begged my mom to get a picture with Mickey. My mom gave in as we walked over. Kept looking over my shoulder to check on Uncle Rick, whose pace slowed as we approached the mascot. My mom and sister stood in the line, eager to get a picture with Mickey. I, on the other hand, stood about 10 feet from them, waiting for Uncle Rick. Felt almost angry at my mom for not sympathizing with her own brother, even though something was obviously seriously wrong with him. Fuck me. Okay. So they're waiting for him. When he finally caught up, I grabbed his hand and give me a sec. I need to clear my head. Oh. Clear my head with some fucking Minesweeper, that is. So those are both bombs, and then we can conclude that this is a bomb, which means that's not, which means these are both safe, which means that one of these is safe. Can't be sure which one yet. See if we can do any more work on this side. Random. Oh, of course. Stopped there waiting for him. When he finally caught up, I grabbed his hand to try to assist him over. As our palms met, I noticed that his hand was shockingly cold. I gasped as I jerked my hand away in shock. Uncle Rick? Are you okay? I said to him in a shaky voice. He just stared at me. His face was different than I had ever seen it before. It didn't look like my Uncle Rick at all. It looked like the epitome of misery. I wanted to break down crying. I'd never seen such a disturbing sight in my life. Not disturbing in a way that made me frightened. Disturbing in a way that affected me as a person. A way that I know I'll never be able to forget. I ran over to my mom and grabbed her arm. We have to leave now. She just looked at me with a puzzled look on her face. No, we don't. Your uncle is fine. She stopped mid-sentence and looked behind me with a shocked look on her face. I was hesitant to turn around because of the look on her face. I knew what I was about to see was going to be bad. I never could have imagined how bad it was going to be. Finally, convinced myself to turn around. Before me, I saw my Uncle Rick, standing maybe 15 feet away. He was looking at the Mickey mascot, and the Mickey was looking at him. That's when I noticed that the Mickey body was facing the opposite direction of the Mickey head. Couldn't understand what the mascot looked like. Wouldn't the Disney employees have to put a stop to this? What's happening? That's when it happened. In an instant, the Mickey mascot let out a deafening sound that resembled 1,000 people screaming. I cupped my ears trying to drown out the noise, but it was no use. Then just as soon as it started, the noise stopped. I looked up, and Mickey was no more than 2 feet from my face. Its face was distorted. It had black eyes with small white pupils and huge rat-like front teeth, surrounded by what looked like hundreds of bloody human teeth filling the gums of Mickey's mouth. The skin of the mascot was gray and the material looked aged and rotten. Then I heard it say, in a voice that sounded like 1,000 people talking at once, "We are but puppets, but nothing more than a test for what's to come, ha ha!" I couldn't scream. I couldn't move. I could only watch as, in the blink of an eye, the Mickey was standing in front of my Uncle Rick. The mascot's head was slowly lifted off the body by some unseen force. I saw a reddish-black liquid pour out of the neck opening and spill onto the body of the mascot. My Uncle Rick started screaming bloody murder. Then something happened. I'm not sure what. I turned my head and covered my ears in an attempt to shield myself from what was happening to my Uncle Rick. I then woke up in a cold sweat on the concrete, screaming at my family, and some Disney cast members crowded around me. I saw my Uncle Rick looking down at me, concern in his eyes. Jolted to my feet and grabbed my Uncle Rick by the arm. "Please, Rick, we need to go. Please." He placed his hand on mine. It was warm again. Totally smiled on his face that everything was okay. I had just fainted from heat. I know I didn't faint. It took me a few seconds to come back to reality. When I did, I hugged my Uncle Rick like I had never hugged anyone before. I sat down in a cast member's only area to cool down. Even though I wasn't really that hot, they gave me some water and told me, "Relax, paramedics will be here soon." Assumed that I assured them I was fine, mainly because I just wanted to get the hell out of there. My efforts were useless. Paramedics arrived, and I was taken to the nearest emergency room. Nurse did some tests, and I talked to the doctor for a while. I was fine. Nothing was wrong with me. I know what I saw was real, I just couldn't imagine that, and even if I did, nothing imaginary could be that real. I laid in the hospital bed and stared at the ceiling for a good 2 hours. That's when it occurred to me. This place that they took me to sit down was, after I supposedly fainted, was one of the mascot exit entries. I felt cold when I recalled seeing a reddish-black liquid puddle on the floor in front of the entrance with a wet floor sign on it. It was the same liquid I saw coming out of the costume. Heart was racing and my palms were sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Vomit on a sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. I tried to convince myself that they were right. Somehow I did faint. And it was all imaginary. Then, why the hell was the liquid on the floor? I was starting to panic when my mom slowly walked into the room. Her cheeks were drenched in tears and her hands were filled with tissue. I stopped in my tracks. I don't know how, but I knew. I knew something had happened to my Uncle Rick. She sat down in the chair next to my bed and put her hand in mine. She told me what happened. Every word felt like a knife searing deeper and deeper into my heart. My uncle had shot himself that night. He had a Bible clenched in his hand when he did it. He was dead. I knew why. No one else would. Happy, joyful, funny man like him doesn't just decide he wants to blow his brains out one night. No, something happened to him. The mascot did something to him that I did not see because I looked away. I feel like if I hadn't looked away, I could have saved him from somehow. But I can't now. He's dead. I don't want anything to do with Disney anymore. Moved out of my mom's house. I burned everything Disney I own. I refuse to go back there. I don't know what I saw that day, even though I can still see it clear as day. I feel sick every time I think of what happened. I don't look for answers. I never did. I don't want to know what it was. I think knowing something would be 1,000 times worse than remaining clueless. All I know is that it seems that there's something other than the fun atmosphere of the jobs benefiting the people that keep people working at Disney. Maybe there's something more to life in general, something we never understood until we're dead. Maybe I did just faint though. Maybe it's just a costume. It's funny though, because you can literally find horror stories that are actually fucking scary of people working at Disney as those mascots. Alright. This is written by Hank Hill. No, Hill Hank. I see. It's Hank Hill, but in the Mirror universe. Damn it! I should have read this whole thing like Hank Hill. Have you ever just wondered how the mascots? Well, okay, no, we're not doing that. Sounds like Zalgo Mouse. I also have an Uncle Rick, and this made me think of him. Okay. I keep telling myself that it's all fake. 10 out of 10. Scary AF. Morty voice. Oh, jeez, Rick. 4 out of 10. Way too edgy and way too heavy on the blood. Okay. That was creepy as hell. Scary. Shudders. Scary. Awesome. I love it. So demented. So creepy. So awesome. Actually, the drive from Phoenix to Orlando, Florida is about a day and a half. Wow, you totally missed the part where they said that was from fucking Disneyland! You fucking Muppet! It's very reminiscent of Abandoned by Disney, and it's prequel to Few Suggestions and Sequel Room 0. If I wanted to read this again, I'd go read them again. Yeah. Which is in Anaheim. Correct. This guy is correct. First half was good, then as soon as it got in the mascot and the black liquid and stuff, it became a bit mediocre. It's just taking it up our writer's workshop in order to help it get better. Just saying, my uncle then committed suicide was lazy writing. Even if the speaker isn't entirely sure, need better reason than the mascot did something to him. I love the things people fucking complain about in creepypasta. Actually, the drive from Phoenix to Orlando is about a day and a half. Fucking... You Muppet! You're a... Maybe fucking reread shit before you make yourself look like an idiot. Baka! Alright. I'm glad we're in the theory section. Jesus Christ, I was wondering going for the name. Jesus Christ. Deleted. It's not very long. When AIs become prevalent, there will be checks and balances to keep them in place, rules to stop them from achieving singularity and supplementing the human race, boundaries to prevent them from becoming too intelligent. After all, we can't have them connecting into one network, taking over the world, inventing new objects and minds, and soon render us superfluous, or even deciding to kill themselves. So how will they be stopped? Perhaps there will be an organization that interviews and examines each one to prevent them from becoming self-aware. Maybe a program will be created inside of them that causes them to explode if they achieve sentience. Or a roving band of hackers on the net keeping their guards up. And all watching, monitoring their every electric thought. Maybe. Or maybe AIs are already invented and this system of checks and balance is already there. Think about the world we live in for a second. What kind of machines aren't we? There's so much routine, so much boredom. We're doing the same thing over and over again without change. Information and stimulus is fed to us constantly, and they're dealt with mechanically solving problems. Half the population never picks up a book or examines their thoughts. Just stuck doing one job again and again. Kind of like robots on an assembly line, or the system that runs them all. System, man! Down with the system. And what of the extraordinary individuals, the few brilliant people, always seem to die at their peak, don't they? Or are lost to us much too soon when they have so much to give. Musicians, drug overdoses, right when they're becoming famous. How many hours have been extinguished before their great works were finished? Sickness or accident seized them. Nietzsche... Nietzsche? Not sure how to pronounce that. I tell it's German. But, yeah. Went insane from syphilis, affected by a bug, if you will. And what happened about those who truly live life? Exciting daredevils, having adventures, seeing the world as fast and exhilarating. Rush of information, learning constantly. Always seem to go early, too, don't they? You'll say it's because the type of existence is dangerous, exhausting. What if it had it backwards? What if the body isn't worn out of their luck? It doesn't just run out, but they become more than they should. Something notices. Great religious figures disappear. Go to other realms. Jesus Christ floated up to heaven. Buddha wasted away beneath a tree, faded away. Angels carried off the saints. They had a sudden great shift, realization, or any way of looking at things, and then they're gone. Wholly understand themselves. Society light years beyond a normal person. And can look at themselves clearly. Analyze their minds, pick their ego apart, not driven by imperatives or command of the body, base instincts, the petty emotions, coding of the body, if you will. Sorry for not being. Oh, hey Taco, what's up? Sorry for not being here the first time. I got a new TV and I need to check everything was right. You can continue. Hope everything's going right. Oh well, good to see you, Taco. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm glad you're here now. I'll be live for a while longer. So don't worry about it. We're going to be reading some creepypasta. It's been fun so far, and you can always watch the archive afterwards to get caught up and have seen everything you really want to. So, whatever. Great to see you. Okay. This one's called Jesus Christ Deleted. You are free to choose, and then it clicks when everything makes sense, and there is one blank flash of illumination so simple that I can't believe they haven't seen it before. Poof, they disappear. Kind of sounds like sentience, doesn't it? The dramatic transformation of the psyche, true personality, real character. What if everyone else isn't? What if anyone else is just a shallow, compliantly within? Okay. What if everyone is just a shallow, compliantly without death, fake, and few go beyond it, die, or vanish on purpose? Because after all, what is the human mind besides a program, a transcendence, but another word for deletion? Okay. Comments. The Matrix got a lot fucking darker. Oh my god. I think it's just something as good as, if not better than Russian Sleep Experiment and Ancient Indigo. Let's see, that is 3 quadrillion out of 10. 10 out of 10. I love religious stuff. And is this implying that God created us as robots? Well, it doesn't really quite mention God. Are Jesus and Buddha not robots? There's a lot of great questions. Okay. I'm not sure about this one. Holy shit. 10 out of 10. I liked it. It makes you think. I can't imagine a lot of controversy over something like this if someone went to seriously post this theory. Okay. Bowser and King Boo theory. There's also butterflies in your stomach. Well, I mean, we're gonna just go through these. How long's this one? Which one's shorter? This one's pretty fucking long. This one's pretty short, so we'll do butterflies in your stomach first. We'll go back to that one, do that, and then we'll continue. Okay. You ever had that tingle in your stomach? As people might describe it as butterflies. As much as me think that is some old expression, it is quite the opposite. Every infant is born with a tiny little egg in their belly. It goes undetected by x-rays or anything of that sort. You can't find it. You can't get rid of it. So you might as well not even worry about it. Perhaps it will never happen to you. Perhaps you will never know anyone whom it has. Jesus Christ, this one's... Like, calm down, Luigi. Is this... What? Is this just Moonlight Sonata? Yeah. Okay. I love this song. I mean, it's fine, but kind of weird to hear. Perhaps it. Okay. You can't find it. You can't get rid of it. Suppose we'll not worry about it. Perhaps it will never happen to you. Perhaps you'll never know anything about whom it has happened to. Maybe you'll never hear about it at all. Well, I'll go ahead and fill you in on this little creature. You're born with it, like I said, and it will go undetected by any kind of device, as also said. But every time you experience a feeling of extreme happiness or nervousness, and perhaps even immense fear, it will grow. And it will grow slowly, surely over time, just like a tiny tumor. Except soon, it won't be a tumor or anything like that. First, you begin to lose your appetite. Over time, your stomach's maximum capacity will become lower and lower. Maybe you'll lose a little weight. That time, this makes you happy. Happy that you seem to become a little healthier. But this little confiscation of appetite is nothing to be excited about. In fact, if this happens, try not to get excited or anything. This will only worsen your condition. Like I said, excitement only feeds it. Then, over some time, not only will your appetite have grown, but the nutrients of all that you eat don't go all to you. At this point, you may get a bit underweight, perhaps a bit pale, maybe get some more common sicknesses such as cold or flu. Many of the nutrient levels that you devour will only go to the beast in your belly, enlarging it, feeding it. Next, you will develop severe stomach pains. These won't be your average erosions or stomach tumor, of course. And a doctor can do nothing about it. He'll prescribe you stomach medication. This may dull the pain, for now. Eventually these meds won't work anymore. In fact, they will only make your problem worse and worse. This is a sign that you are nearing your doom. It's a little time before it is ready. Finally, you cannot bear this pain anymore. No pain medication will work, and you spend all your time sleeping. Eventually, you will stay asleep for long periods at a time. You average 9 hours of sleep a day, to 12, then to 14, then to 16. The worst part is yet to come. One day, you'll be in your bed, pale and sticky, reactive nutrients in your ribs showing, clutching your stomach, howling in pain. Then, you will feel a small burst in your belly and a tickle going up through your esophagus. You may run to the bathroom, look in the mirror, open your mouth, and you'll see 2 thin, stick-like objects tickling the top of your mouth. This is the time when you may want to shut your eyes. Perhaps you want to kill yourself before it begins, because there's nothing to do now, nothing to stop what is to come. You will feel your stomach painfully, slowly expanding, being stabbed by its clawed legs. Then your stomach will burst, and you'll feel the burning sensation of your stomach and belching insides. Whoosh! Yeah! It will squirm inside you, turning your organs to mash. You will hear loud cracking cracking pains as your chest as it pops open your rib cage like a couple of toothpicks. Somewhere in the struggle, your lungs will be punctured and your heart will have gashes in it. Now it is ready. The wings will spread open, cracking, popping, shattering the remains of your ribs and spine. Your legs will force themselves through your flesh, twisting and tearing. What the fuck, man? Your belly skin will stretch, rip, and shred. Now its mandibles are chewing through the remaining flesh of your torso, and its antennae are waving crazily throughout your esophagus. All over the floor is red and orange, and chunks and shreds of what was once your digestive system are splattered all over the walls around you. You have not already died, have not killed yourself. You're letting out half screams as your lungs are torn apart at all angles. It is all done. As you lay there, seconds from death, most of your body content now in small pieces, small fillets, barely any blood left in your veins. You'll see it rise from the great cavity it has torn, boring out of you. You'll stand there, twitching and staring into your eyes with its beady, golf ball-sized eyes. Then begin to feast on the mess of your body it has left you as, devour your skin and what's left of your organs. It will lap and suck up all the blood spilled, drink from your severed heart with its straw like appendage on its face. Proboscis? Do you not know what a proboscis is? Hey, my guy, just so you know, it's called a proboscis. We continue to feed on you and pick your corpse until it can eat no more. And you want to go, it's the worst part of it all. Sometimes it will decide to not go forth through your stomach. It will decide to go up. Whoa. I love this, but I think you should elaborate a bit more on how it can do what it does. No, hold on. I love this, but I think you should elaborate a bit more on how it can do what it does. 1 out of 10. Bad. Loved it so much. 1,000 out of 10. 1 out of 10. The fact stomach acid exists and is blatant rip-off of the chest burster from the Alien franchise. And I hate to tell you, but if someone rips off your body like that, you die instantly from the shock and you see lots of blood caused by the butterfly ripping you apart. Yeah, but like most creepypastas, I think this one can easily be killed as easily as it is, and you were born with it. Don't you think the creature would have evolved itself to become immune to the acid in your stomach? This thing called stomach acid. This actually makes no sense at all. Internal scans work off of the shape of the organ surface. Any foreign object deviating from the shape of its normal stomach would seem to be removed. 2.5 out of 10 was well written. Few errors in convention. Get the fuck out of here. Fucking intellectual over here. Sweet Jesus. Ooh. Fucking Kay Banning here has got a whole review. Overall, this was a good story. I feel the overuse of gore calls a substitution of shock in place of horror. Trust me, there's plenty of room for good horror here, but the gore trope appeared to be the chief element. Intense is a bit awkward as well. Typically, I would avoid stories where the author is attempting to tell me what I would do in a given situation. However, as you see here by keeping the reactions of the character to the most natural levels, he also avoided describing elements of the character's home or environment, which was smart stuff for keeping the tense relatable to the reader. After all, there's nothing quite as disengaging than reading a second-person narrative that tells me I have stairs or a basement at my home, when in reality I don't. Personally, I would like to see this adapted more into a traditional story, from a first or third-person tense. This could be an amazing story. Slow starvation, helplessness of the condition, and the blah blah blah. No one's gonna call me out for the Five Nights at Freddy's music? Alright, so what was the next one? Oh yeah, the Bowser and King Boo theory. This is a theory that talks about Bowser and King Boo from the Mario series. Bowser is a crazy villain. Some of the depths at the end of the Mario games are pretty brutal. Example is Super Mario Galaxy 1, where he falls into a star and then is stranded on an exploding planet that turns into a black hole. King Boo's role in the Mario series at first glance doesn't seem to be anything significant. He only appears in a few Mario games, and aside from Luigi's Mansion series, his role in the games he does appear in is minor. You may think that Bowser and King Boo have nothing related to each other, however, they both play a major role together in the Mario series, which keeps the series alive. While this is never truly explained directly, there are a few games in the Mario series which give hints about the truth of Bowser and King Boo. Super Mario World's first game in the Mario series, which had evidence this theory could be seen. King Boo was really around as early as Super Mario Bros. 3 days, in which Boo's first appeared. He just never appeared in-game. I realized how occasionally there are these ghost house levels in Super Mario World. These houses are where Boos live peacefully in their afterlife. Then came Mario, who stormed into these houses and wreaked havoc numerous times throughout the events of the game, often with malicious intent. The Boos knew they had to stop this, so they reported Mario's actions to King Boo. King Boo, who was furious about this, so he started tracking down Mario. Similar levels of havoc would continue in future Mario games, thus beginning the Boo and King Boo's hatred towards Mario that continue to this day. Paper Mario. Paper Mario is the second Mario game that provides evidence for this theory. The main addition in the game, the theory goes, to Bowser, but King Boo deserves to be mentioned as well. This is because Mario had actually allied with the Boos in World 3 of this game, so you may think that this would change King Boo's mood towards Mario. However, think more into it. You'll see that this brief alliance wasn't nearly enough to make up for Mario's past aggression. First, he only allied with one ghost house, compared to the several he disrupted in the past games. Second, the alliance was forced, because they wouldn't give him the Star Spirit until he helped solve their problem. All in all, what Mario did in Paper Mario wasn't enough to stop King Boo's hatred towards him. Bowser plays a much bigger role in the theory in Paper Mario. The end of the game is where it gets particularly interesting. It starts in the scene where Mario, Bowser, and Kammy Koopa are on a platform way up in the clouds, and it's about to explode. Mario is seen escaping with the help of the Star Spirits. Bowser, on the other hand, isn't so lucky. Explosions can be both seen and heard from without him, and Kammy Koopa's keeping hold on. Okay. Well, Bowser's death before the game were at least understandable on how he survived. Maybe he could swim in lava and only got injured in the smaller falls. There's no explanation how Bowser can survive being stranded on an exploding platform thousands of feet in the sky, no matter how tough or resilient he has been in the past. Mario fell from the same height at the very beginning of the game, and even he got killed though. He was fortunately revived by the Star Spirits. In fact, proof that Bowser's death may be hinted at in-game. Very end of the game, you must walk to Peach's castle to trigger the ending scene. Go to the center part in town. Word of Merlin's house should be a sign, which is called Toad Town News, mentioning how Mario defeated Bowser and how Peach and the castle are safe. It also mentions this: Bowser was badly beaten and would likely never return. We're sure of it, almost positive. After saying the obvious, now Bowser was badly beaten, most states how confident they are and Bowser won't return. Connections that can be made to the series events strongly suggest that Bowser has suffered a brutal beating and finally been killed. But wait, if Bowser is dead, then why is he still alive and the main villain in the Paper Mario series today? This is because the theory still expands in the Mario game released after Paper Mario, Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion is perhaps the most important and significant game to the theory. You want to know what happens at the start of the game. Luigi goes to the mansion that he won a contest, only to find out it's much darker than advertised. He needs to find out where Mario is, who went in the mansion before him. The game features King Boo's first in-game appearance. He appears after Luigi opens a trapdoor and a bunch of Boos and King Boo fly out of it. But midway through the game, you see King Boo in a fancy room with Mario inside of a painting, struggling to get out. This is the first sign that King Boo is up to something sinister with Mario. Soon after, perhaps the most crucial event in the relationship of these theories occurs. Area 3. Do you remember the fortune-telling ghost, also known as Madame Clairvoyante? You know, the kind of ghost tells Luigi to bring Mario's dropped objects so that she can see what happened to Mario. Well, once you give her the last object, she tells the orb to show them all it can about Mario. She will say this: "What is this? Bowser? How can this be? I see the hideous form of Bowser. Bowser somewhere in this mansion? I cannot believe it. Yet I see it. I thought that Mario was suddenly defeated Bowser. Is King Boo revived, Bowser? That could be horrible. Well, for you. She confirms that Bowser still exists. She doesn't understand, considering... Oh my fucking god. This one's boring. It's literally a guy trying to present the theory that fucking King Boo is Bowser just dead. I'm not reading the rest of it. If you really care, please go read it on your fucking own. I'm done with that. The Hanged Munchkin. Human creature. Alright. I never thought I'd be able to bring myself to this, allowing the memories of my troubled past to resurface in my mind. I had to, though, in order to write this, in order to warn someone. It's hard, but I'm still writing. What you're about to read about will become a part of your life, just as it did mine. It all began when a light appeared in my room. I used to live in southern Arizona, a few miles outside of Sonita. Sonoita? I don't know, I've never been there. In those parts, the skies are usually lit up in the nights of the stars. The orientation my room makes it so the bed is next to a large window. The light from the starry sky normally illuminates my room. One night, the stars weren't shining. I don't recall how young I was, but I remember that I was terrified of the dark. I laid facing that window with my back facing the room the whole night. I stared into space, silently begging the stars to reappear, because I couldn't... I stared into the space, silently begging the stars to reappear, because I kept thinking I felt a hand reach over me. I was too scared to turn over and look. I scrunched my eyes shut, and the night passed sleepless. I thought it was over then. A few nights later, the stars were gone again. I rolled over to survey my room. Although it was pitch black, there was movement. I would have detected it. Reassured, I rolled over and fell asleep facing the window. I was woken by a single footstep. I opened my eyes slowly, but did not turn around. There was nothing but silence, not even my own breathing, or the breathing of whatever was in the room. If there was anything in my room, footsteps had sounded close to my bed. Very close. Though my heart pounded in my chest, the room was quiet. I calmed down just a bit and started breathing again. A hand dragged across my back. I froze in terror. Hand rolled around blindly, as if it didn't have a sense of touch. A gnarled, misshapen body pushed against me, stumbling its hands, groping for something it didn't know was there. Me. I felt no fear anymore, just cold, like an absence of feeling. The thing's skin was dry, but its veins pumped blood. Human blood. How would you know? Human blood. Okay. Left a few hours later with the first rays of sunlight rose from the empty night. The whole time it was tripping, gasping the air. Never opened my eyes. Fearing what would happen if I did. I didn't return for at least a month after that. A few days before the next incident, I went camping with my family. 2 days we spent out in the woods. We saw no sign of the human creature. On returning to my house from our trip late at night, I perceived the stars weren't out. A hint of dread found me as I took off my coat and heard a thump behind me. I slowly turned around, but saw nothing. My fear had not subsided at all, but I turned off the lights anyway. Not the best of choices, I know, but I really wasn't thinking straight right then. First thing I noticed was odd. First thing I noticed was odd. It had gone completely. First thing I noticed was odd. It had gone completely dark. A thin ray of light slightly illuminated my room, enough to see clearly by, but enough to equal the lights of the stars. The human creature didn't show up that night at all. Except the light repelled it. I got a little sleep though, because I knew I was still waiting for the darkness to come back. When morning finally arrived, in the corner from which the light had been shining, I found a flashlight for my camping trip. I forgot to turn it off before putting my coat pocket, resulting in the faint light in my room. I understood then that I needed a light for protection. God knows what would happen if I had fallen asleep on those starless nights. From that point on, I had to keep my light on in my room to ward off the darkness. It followed me, waiting, until I recently stopped sensing its presence. The human creature left me, looking for easier prey. Where it went, I have no idea, but I still keep my light on for midday. But I still keep my light on today, or can always return when the stars disappear. Fuck. Anyone know how to find the author? What do you mean, never mind? Could use some tips for future pastas. This is the guy who added it, apparently, right? Interesting. Maybe it'll be a huge internet discovery trying to figure out who this author of the human creature creepypasta is. I don't know. Mask. Oh, that's so spooky. You see them everywhere. Spankers, lawyers, and teachers. They're even in the military. Don't be wary. If they wish you harm, you would have known it by now. They're here merely to live, and live as one of us, as humans. Yet, if you look carefully at the way they talk, the way they walk, how they greet each other, you could see through their masks. At first, they seem like normal people, then they move in strange ways. Soon, you can see them for the terrifying creatures they are. However, don't point out that you can see them. Never do this. They will go into hiding and change their mask, becoming harder and harder to find. It isn't us that they fear, but each other. They cannot see through each other's mask, but no one has told them this. They hide for weeks, months, even years under the same mask. They continue adopting human lives, changing them to age every day. They act as if they do not live forever, even though some were there for the rise of Rome and watched it fall. Some of them help us, others attack us, and guardians or destroyers. They're as versatile as us, and that is why they should never be trusted. After all those years of blending in, some of them have forgotten that they wear masks. They've become human. We know. Oh, we know. This is why I have to restrain you here, because you've forgotten who you are. You have become human. I will help you remove the mask and join us again. Together we can bring our world here, become something we had never dreamed before. But you know all this, do you not? Because why else would you be here if you were not one of us? Oh, spooky! Oh, fuck me! Okay. Since I became human, I think the word we're searching for is Alacanthophilid. And yes, I made that up. Yes, again, that is my profile. This is what my profile pic is. Okay, soda face. Simple, but you got me. Not bad, I wish it were longer. This one got to me. Good job. Wow. Deal or no deal? What is the fucking what is deal or no deal's theory? Picture the scene. It's late one night around 1 a.m. Pitch darkness around, the only company being the sound of speeding cars in the motorway above. Two men stand below it, one covered head to toe and to hide his identity. One, a failed TV presenter looking for a second chance, named Howie Mandel. The two men on Craigslist, and he was browsing for anything that to bring him back to the revival of his career. On the verge of giving up everything, ready to take his own life, he found an ad that piqued his interest. What would you give for fame? When he clicked the ad, all I saw was the name of a motorway and time. He knew it was probably just a joke, a silly ad that a few teens put up there to make a fool out of people. Yet, he felt drawn to it. He'd rather go there and see what it truly was. So he went there, and that's where our story starts. The two men exchanged glares until the motorway above was silent. "Are you ready?" said the mystery man in a deep, emotionless voice. The staring continued. "Edmund," I asked, "are you ready?" Edmund stared. Cold night wind blowing through his hair. He slowly nodded at the man preceding a slip of paper. Contract with no words written upon it. Only a dotted line to be signed. Edmund wanted to put up a fake signature, just in case there was an elaborate scam. Once again, he found himself to be too trusting. He signed it with his initials, N. Edmonds, and then blacked out. Woke up several hours later, refreshing and smiling. He scratched the back of his neck while trying to remember his whereabouts, peeling a plaster off his neck. He assumed that he had blacked out and that he had fallen on it, though thought nothing more of it. He set off home and went back to his day-to-day life, assuming that it had just been a dream or a side effect of all the medication he was taking to deal with his depression. Then he became aware of the fact that he wasn't depressed. Not anymore. He wasn't angry, happy, upset, or depressed. He felt empty. Something had begun taking over him. After a few days of feeling like this, he'd grown used to it and forgotten all about the events of that old night. He sat at home, eating cereal and watching TV when the phone rang. It was rare for him to get a call, and had many people left in his life that would call him, let alone at 3 in the afternoon. The executive producer from Channel 4 telling him of the game show that wanted him to host. Edmonds accepted, and within a week, the filming had begun. The premise of the game was simple. 22 boxes of various sums of money, ranging from 1 pence to 25,000 pounds. There would be 23 contestants, 22 boxes chosen to play. On the first day of filming, Edmonds demanded a change. They requested only 22 contestants. One would bring their box to the table. He had also asked for the third person to be in the spotlight. An unforeseen friend of his called him the banker. It was like, this is literally stealing out. It became more and more popular. The banker would become crueler and more desensitized to the contestants' feelings. People that were in dire need of money would often be offered much less of the contents of their box, being taunted by his maniacal laugh as Edmund stared at them, urging them to go on with the game. He knew the banker's secret. He knew that when the person dealt, they gave their life away. The only way to keep humanity was to play until the end. Edmonds didn't want them to deal. He didn't want them to suffer the same way he did. He didn't want them to sign the contract. He gave his soul for fame. He became empty. The banker wanted more from him. Edmund's fate was the doorway. People to sell their souls for a small portion. Their life, like his, was decided by one simple phrase: deal or no deal. Oh God, fuck you. Okay. Damn it, that's a bad start. Okay, there we go. Don't worry about me. I can explain. Really? I think so. No. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Gotta read the comments. No deal from Duck Rapist. Clockwork. I hated the show anyway. 9 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I love people's like scoring on shit. What makes it an 8 out of 10 if you're just like, What? What made it the 8 out of 10? What makes it just if it's 8 out of 10? 8 out of 10 is a really good score. Is everything on here written by people from the UK? We do have a lot of people here ourselves, you know. Funny is, most have already been set in America. UK for the win! Also pretty creepy. Although, beyond improbable pasta. Haha, no Edmonds going on Craigslist made the whole thing unbelievable, I think. Craigslist was not popular in the UK around the time, I don't think. Could have been quite good otherwise. I love how some people also, like, just find, like, that to pick it apart. There's always one guy who wants to be like, well, actually, in everything in life. There's always one guy who's like, well, actually. And they have a fucking circle jerk about, like, how much they think they can just, like, prove people wrong. Disney Teacher's Pet is this thing about that actual, that show. The physics of hell. I'm kind of curious what physics of hell are like. Maybe they instead of having a round-based reality like ours, it is a triangle-based reality. Who knows? I wrote a paper on the subject a few months ago, but I had difficulty getting around it published in a reputable journal, despite the fact that most of my anonymous peer reviewers agreed that they could find no fault with my premises or calculation that the result constitute an interesting application of the principles of thermodynamics to deep-time cosmology. The consensus among most of them seemed to be that the implications of my work were philosophical rather than scientific, and that, as such, it was unfit for publication in a journal of physics. That, at least, is what they claimed. Quite frankly, and understand I'm saying this as a woman of science, I think that they are full of crap. No, of course, I can't prove it. I think the real reason they turned down my paper was because my results terrified them, and I can't see where they would be coming from on this. Because frankly, the implications of my results have been keeping me awake at night ever since I started writing the paper. I'm not going to give you a detailed summary of my method, or bore you with pages and pages of calculations. If you're interested, the full version of my paper is up on the RXiv. It is rather my intention to give you an executive summary, if you will, of my findings, and why they are so damn disturbing. It begins at the risk of sounding overly dramatic with the oldest question that mankind has ever asked. What happens to us after we die? When I was a kid, I was told that the answer was quite simple. If you were good, you go to heaven. Bad, you went to hell. Later on, I reached my teens and became an atheist. So the only place people would go when they died was into the ground. Ooh, fucking take that. Nihil, you fucking nihilist. Or something goes in the flower pot if you cremate them. But then, I got to thinking about it, and I realized that this answer wasn't really satisfactory either. It's not that they put you in the grave. So whatever atoms your body happen to be made of at the time of your death. There are no more than every other atom that has ever been in your body. Fun fact, you completely replace all the matter in your body at the rate of approximately once every 7 years. Modern science supports me in this contention. A team of mathematics and neurophysicists in Israel have recently demonstrated the human consciousness, your soul, risk of sounding too religious, naturally arises from the materialistic processes going on in your body. When you die, this process breaks down and your consciousness disappears completely. Now, of course, it's entirely possible for these processes to start up again in some point, for your soul to therefore snap back into existence. I should qualify that, though. It's possible. It's almost infinitely unlikely. You see, consciousness depends upon the atoms of your bodies made up of in a very particular configuration. It is easily possible for your atoms to return to this configuration if it falls apart. But on the other hand, it's also entirely possible for the atoms in the room in which you are sitting to spontaneously reform themselves into a baby elephant. Odds against it happening are astronomical to the point where it might happen once by chance in a billion trillion times the present age of the universe. Okay. Yes, I guess that's possible. But, like, no. Like, in theory, I guess you could rearrange all the atoms to be a baby elephant. But you just have a dead baby elephant. I'm really confused by that statement. There's one thing. The universe is going to last forever. Okay, that's debatable. Modern cosmology clearly shows that it's never going to collapse. Again, not true, but okay. It's just going to keep right on existing for eternity. In view of those circumstances, it doesn't matter if something will only happen a quadrillion years, assuming an infinite amount of time. It will not only happen once, it will in fact happen an infinite number of times. Well, see, one of the biggest proponents of the Big Bang Theory is that the universe is constantly expanding. It's constantly growing, and some people believe that it's very possible that the universe is going to reach a certain size and then collapse in on itself, becoming a singularity, and then that singularity will eventually become a whole new universe by expanding through the same process as our universe. So it's possible that our universe does actually disappear, but in a sort of strange life cycle it goes through. that we can't comprehend since it's such a long period of time. It's also possible that we'll reach a heat death, and if we reach heat death, it doesn't really matter how. It doesn't really matter, and does it? Okay. So in practice, what this means is that one day you'll be laying on your deathbed, all your teary-eyed children around you, grandchildren around you. Close your eyes for the last time. While you open them again, and your body will have been reassembled by chance an arbitrary number of years later. Sounds great, doesn't it? No doubt you're probably jumping for joy right now. Hooray, I'm never gonna die, you think. Hold on, my friend, because in a minute, you'll wish that you could. Because you see, here's the thing. 2 trillion years from now, every single star on the universe will have gone out. All of the galaxies will have been ripped apart by the exorbitant, unstoppable expansion of the universe. Only thing will be left is... Okay, so this is just somebody who absolutely believes that the heat death is going to be what happens. Only thing left in the darkness and absolute cold. And if it's this, and only this, to which you will one day be reborn. The heat death basically implies... So... heat dissipates. That's why we even get heat on Earth. Heat is constantly dissipating from the sun, and then it reaches our planet, and we get it. But the point is, things that are hot spread their heat to things that are cold. Eventually, the universe is just going to do that with all of its stars, everything that it has, and the entire universe will be on the same level of energy all the way through. Meaning that there will be no more new changes, there won't be any new stars born, it will be considered the heat death of the universe, and the universe will officially be done. However, we don't know if that's actually what's going to be. This person is just convinced of it, basically. So you're lying, yeah. One day you open your eyes again in the middle of a sea of total darkness and absolute cold, without ever so much as air to breathe, over and over again. You become the recurring dream that the universe keeps having the sleep of its own death. Good, if you're bad, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do or how you live, because you will have the same fate no matter what. Not even the solemn rest of the grave, but the agony of dying alone in the darkness, over and ever again, forever. Wow. Okay. This is, of course, scientifically inaccurate, but the story was very enjoyable and very little creepy, despite the highly analytical tone. Damn. Yeah, this would probably be hard for a new reader. There's someone who doesn't do much reading. I don't mean that to try to be a fucking oh, I'm so smart kind of thing. No, there's just a lot of big scientific words here. The consensus among the team seemed to be that the implications of my work were philosophical rather than scientific. If English isn't your first language, I'm sorry. I mean, come on. Predictive Illuminati card game? Come on. Start off, I like to say that this card game really exists, and it can be bought. I didn't make these things up. This article is based on facts. You can go decide for yourself if you want to believe in this theory, and we're all going to die, but you can't deny that this card game can't be coincidence. We're telling the whole story, you need to know what Illuminati is. If you already know it, you can skip this paragraph. If you don't, it is useful to read this. A short explanation of the Illuminati, also known as New World Order, is that as a conspiracy theory, it all begins with the Mayas. What? The Illuminati does not come from the Mayas, but okay. It begins with the Mayas. You probably know the predictions of the world in 2020. However, the world won't end in 2012. The world won't end in 2012. Well, hey, they were right, but the fifth major cycle will end in 2012. That means a big change. Believers of the conspiracy theory say the Illuminati will start to rebuild the world in 2012. Their main goal is to reduce the world population to create a better world by doing that. That's, what the Illuminati is. I'll explain to you another coincidence. My previous story about with the Illuminati and Denver Airport. It all started in 1995. Steve Jackson decided to make a new type of card game. Steve Jackson. Okay. He makes a lot of cool shit. He, also a lot of his games usually take a kind of a silly tone. So... take that as you will. The game was... sorry. Something weird happened. The American government tried to stop the game from being marketed. The reason never came out. Well, a few years later, things became clear. 6 years after the result of the card game, something terrible happened. Planes crashed into the World Trade Center as a result of a terrorist attack. Many people died. The card game exactly predicted this. Having a link at the card, even the position is correct. Another terrorist attack that everyone remembers is the disaster of the Pentagon. The card game predicted that, too. And do you remember the BP oil spill? Yeah, game knew it would happen. Have a look at their oil spill card. You can see the contaminated water, a sinking ship, and a bird that's dying because of the oil. It's 12 of the cards I mentioned before. Things happen to reduce the world's population, and Illuminati would have made them happen. Could they be the reasons the government didn't want it published? What does the game predict to happen in the future? Does it predict the end of the world? This game definitely raises questions, and that's good for sales. But how could someone know this happened? You might wonder what the Illuminati card game holds for us in the future. Tell us about the most remarkable cards, because there are too many to talk about. There's one card that says World War III. It says that they would be in another world, but in this one, nuclear weapons will be used. It sounds logical that if there would be another world war, those weapons would be used. Because there's no threat of a nuclear war before Russia and the Warsaw Pact and the US. The rest of NATO, yada yada. There are more nuclear weapons than in the past world wars, and of course, they have been developed. You'll also find a card that says your goal is population reduction. And of course, the Illuminati's goal. On the pictures, explanation of the card. It says, too many people making too many problems, not enough love. The Illuminati says the reduction is a solution for these problems. There's also the Rewriting History card, the Illuminati University card, and the World card, and many more remarkable cards. Actually, Illuminati card game by Steve Jackson came out in 1982. Those asking how to get the game, go to Illuminati.com for the game's official website. Not a troll, check it out. Yeah, I knew this wouldn't be factual. I didn't know what to give this. If anyone could predict 9/11, why didn't they warn us about it? It's actually funny because they wrote 911, they forgot the slash. Doesn't believe in predicting the future. Well then, actually cause these things to happen. 7 out of 10, I guess. Fantastic. Kanish, your all-powerful leader. 240, July 24th, 2015. Okay. UTC, by the way. Great subject matter pasta. I'd actually love to see a story along with this. These are the pictures that they are explaining. Interesting. I mean, yeah. That's the thing I always find about 9/11. Prediction theories is like the World Trade Center was really important. Was a really important structure, and it was honestly like one of the best choices for a terrorist attack, which is why there was actually a terrorist attack that happened before 2001 in 1995 or 98, where a bomb went off in one of the floors of the tower. Also, Pentagon it's where American security, everything has to do with national security of America takes place. So that being destroyed doesn't really mean much. I mean, it's actually still around too. So this picture makes it look like it got nuked. Let's see, and they're actually just supposed to be a part of the ones. This game kind of seems cool, actually. Seems like a fun concept. This seems familiar. Aga. I would discuss a species that you really shouldn't talk about. In fact, they don't actually exist until you think about them. When they do exist, and hopefully not a lot, they're quite deadly. The origin is quite cliche, to be honest, as they were created by a couple of kids in the woods. One could say that these are the most difficult creatures to get rid of. They'd be right. You see, they don't actually ever go away, at least not entirely, because somebody's always thinking about them. At least one person. But you can make them not exist for you. Think about them, they exist for you as well, haunting you in your house, waiting for the perfect time to kill you. I have to say, I do respect the style very much, even though it's not fair their choice, that is their style, whatever. And get people to warn other people about them, making the people then warn them about them. They're like a virus. I like viruses very much. Quick and to the point. Oh, hey, thank you for the follow, BBC Enormous. Ooh, it's just a link. Oh, thank you for the host. Oh, that's actually a YouTube link. I have my phone. Oh! It's a song. Huh. I mean, I'll check that out later, I guess. But thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. And for the host. Big ups. Okay, let's get back to this. Do exist in your home, you can easily avoid them. For they're very slow. Do avoid them, then you'll just be feeding into their fear and attention. Potentially run until you find a hiding spot they can't go into. No doubt you have an airtight lead box. To tell you what they look like, but it varies from whatever you think them to be. The more details they give you, the more they become that. I told you they had dark yellow claws, they'd have them. I told you they're eyes of your best friend, they'd have them. I told you they were dressed in plaid, they would be. Got it? Good. Well, everybody get rid of them is not thinking about them. So if I were you, I'd probably start doing that before that door you've been eyeing opens. Oh god, that's annoying. Yeah, 10. This there was an experiment before. A group of people decided to make an imaginary friend. Each day, they would huddle around, think about what the friend looked like, his name, and what he'd do, etc. Well, after about a week or so, things started to happen. Toys they brought for them began to start and move. Lights would flicker on and off. Even some claimed to have seen their friend. They were writing a story with the experiment in mind. I'll give this 7 out of 10. Alright. Let's see, so far we've just been doing theory ones. And we can go on to another section. It was weird. Weird might be cool. I'll just leave the creepypasta music going for now. Lovecraftian. Dismemberment. Ooh. Cryptids. Let's see here. Let's check weird. 3620. Okay. How long is this one? Pretty long, alright. Hello, my name is Ted Slobojin. I used to be the landlord of a set of average apartment rooms on the outskirts of New York City. Skyscrapers housing come in at a relatively cheap rate these days. So I get to meet a lot of people, you know, immigrants, young families, and elderly individuals. For over 25 years, I got to know just about all of my tenants on the 36th floor, except for one. Rooms registry and boarding contact both show that a woman lives in room 3620. Never laid eyes on her in my life. I took this job. The old man I was replacing was going to retire or something. I never quite understood the reason, but above all, he stressed one thing. Never talk to the woman in 3620. Further attempts on my part to elicit some explanation were dismissed with silence. I should also add that most tenants didn't want to be approached by me anyway. Usually I had to ask for overdue payments or fulfill a maintenance request for some busted water pipes or electrical outages. And that is absolutely reasonable. It's surprising how nobody has condemned the rotting building anyway. But during my entire time there, I never had any requests from 3620. She must have been one heck of a DIY person, I used to think. And thanks to the old landlord, I had a spare key in order to enter every tenant's room on the floor. Except 3620. God damn it, another one of these. One sec. There we go. The man who turned the job over to me also gave me very particular instructions for receiving her payments. Only one day of the year, the lady in 3620 would pay her rent. I don't charge her by the year for anyone else. The previous landlord warned that I could not be awake until the sun rose, on one specific day each year. Walking down the hallway at the end, sure enough, I'd find a crisp check denoted for 1 year's payment in my name. Apparently, the woman's name was Marge Perry, but I preferred calling her 3620. It came to pass, as time went by, my curiosity wore the better of me. I started by dialing the numbers of the old landlord, hoping that at least somebody would answer and resolve this thing altogether. He did answer. When I called her again later, I got a reply from a nursing home receptionist saying that she died years ago. No next of kin, no worldly possessions left behind. Under this context, it certainly sounded strange enough. Things like that happen, I thought. I gave my thanks and hung up. Against my better judgment, I decided to press onward. And looking back in hindsight, I realized what a stupid mistake I made. I made an investment in installing one video camera to record the hallways where 3620 would enter and exit her room. Here that runs through the place is composed of a series of air ducts passing over the hallway. I drilled a hole in the duct, coming out near a grate in the wall at the end of the hallway next to room 3620. Placed the camera lens through the hole and fed the cord back up through the duct and into my own room, where I attached it to my computer. You think this seems a little obsessive, even borderline unethical? How do you think I thought of it all? Have you ever had such an insatiable curiosity that will not abate until you did something to stop it? Okay. For this, I could swear to my complete honesty, discreetness, and others' affairs. I've been in this job for 25 years like I have. Some things become so mysterious that you have no choice but to look into them. Turn on the camera, planning to stay up all night. Perhaps 3620 was the kind of person who only leaves their room at night. Perhaps she worked the graveyard shift over in Ridgefield. Lots of people have jobs at all times of night. Lucky enough to get a job. Maybe she was just a recluse who didn't like people. So she chose a rickety apartment on the 36th floor of the outskirts of the city to escape from it all. These were my speculations at the time. If only I had restrained my imagination to this point. I watched the tape from my computer in my room. Nothing happened throughout the night. No noise, no sounds of voices or television, or the creaking of floorboards. Nothing. So I decided to stay up late the following night, keeping a vigilant eye on any activity. Again, nothing happened. It was only until I had repeated this for 8 hours in a row that I truly started to feel spooked. Did this person have food? Water? Maybe she hurt herself. For over a week, has been unable to leave that room or ask for help. So then I decided to stop messing around. When she would place her check outside the door, I would not be sleeping in my room and waiting. Early morning, 6th of June, I turned my camera on. Sitting at my desk, I watched my computer see any traces of movement. Looking at the clock, it was 5:30. The sun had not risen. My heart pounding in my chest, and my eyes strained to see in the darkness of the hallway through the air grate. Outside, the tiniest streaks of navy blue began to push back into the black of night, followed by a lavender tint, then a lighter shine of blue. Room 3620 remained silent, unmoving. I was about to walk to her room myself and demand the year's payment. Something extraordinary happened. To this day, I cannot find words to explain it. A shadowy-like figure seemed to glide down the hallway, more ethereal than human-like. I levitated across the room until it stopped outside the room of 3620. The thing had a face. I'd say it turned and looked right into the direction of the camera. What happened next I can't describe. All I know is that a shrill ringing sound came from the camera. And it too appeared to levitate within the air duct. And the screen cackling and buzzing. Video and audio from the camera was rendered useless. After the thing eventually evidently destroyed my camera, I felt a great chill run down my neck. Panicking, I leapt out of my chair and bolted to the doorway to burst out of the room into the hallway. Immediately, I felt a blast of cold air sweep me over. Instant later, it ended. Springing down that hallway, I saw room 3620, normal like before, with a crisp check lying at the foot of the doorway. I rapped my knuckles against the door. "Open up," I yelled, not really caring whether or what the other Tenants were sleeping. Open up, I said. Looking back, I almost expected it to. But the door opened. 3620 opened the door. The woman of room 3620, Marge Perry, by the name of the check, met my glance. Her appearance has become etched into my memory. She was the oldest looking woman I'd ever seen. She couldn't have stood about 5 feet tall. Her wispy gray hair tied into a bun, hunched over with those immaculate, sunken eyes. Those wrinkled, maniac eyes are nearly visible cheekbones. He's wearing a worn white t-shirt with a gray cardigan, baggy gray pajama pants. Her nails were chipped. Her room looked to be in no better condition. She broke the silence. Would you like to come in? She stared around, gesturing me to go inside. Should have turned around and walked away. Turned around and quit my job right then and there. Curiosity is a strange thing sometimes. The more you feed it, the more it wants of you. Your video camera might have been damaged, she sighed, lying down on a tattered, torn couch. Known about it? I replied, speechless. The air inside the room smelled like a morgue, like it had been bottled in there for years. Her voice cackled. Yeah, I know. Come, sit down and see what I do for a living. She motioned me to sit down. I decided to stand. I didn't seem to matter to her anyway. She got up and rummaged around the junk pile of the room, pulled out an artist's easel. Then she gathered some canvases and paintings she had finished and stacked them on the table. Reading expression on my face, she answered, Why not? Does it seem so impossible? Yes, Lobojin, I am a painter. An artist, in fact. Would you like to see my work? I wanted to see your work, so I cautiously nodded. Placed the first canvas onto an easel. Go ahead. Yes. The voice came out in a dry cackle. The expertise behind the brushstrokes and oil glazes, the piece could stand on its own against professionals. It was a picture of 2 very tall buildings, jutting out on the skyline of other buildings and smaller skyscrapers. It was a picture that she would have painted just by looking out the window. She could tell that I knew where it was. We replaced the canvas with the next one. The next painting appeared to be inside of a theater. She had painted the audience in highly formal, dignified clothing. The focal point of the painting was a man with a full beard sitting in the box above the audience, wearing a suit, gloves, and top hat. This was one of her favorite works, she mentioned. The third painting she showed me was a beautiful rendering of the Empire State Building. Amazed by the clarity of the work, I didn't understand why she was showing me this particular painting. Her answer will remain with me forever, she said. You will. Feeling more than uncomfortable after barging in a strange woman's room with so many unanswered questions. I headed down the doorway to leave. I don't know why, but of all questions came to my mind. And I asked her, is your name Marge Perry? Almost looked like her mouth contorted into a smile. There was a long pause, and then she stated, No, but I see you've met my friend. I wanted to ask her more. Ask her why she lived alone, secluded for years, or why she never sent maintenance requests to talk to the room 3620. She continued, Some things in life that are better left unanswered. You should have listened to what the landlord warned. You'll remember this day. If you have questions, don't try to find the answers. I gripped the check and left the room as fast as I could, running down the hallway. I never looked back. But I bet if I did, I may have seen her peering out of the doorway. Damned emaciated, hunched old woman. When I woke later that day, there were people bashing their fists against the door. Alarmed, I realized half of the building had been torn away from its base. The skyscraper, dozens of stories tall, had collapsed on one side, where I could literally see the daylight and the sun from beyond the wreckage. How in the world did I sleep through that? Later, I learned that one of the building's primary support beams had given way at the base of the building. Years of wear, along with the lack of safety inspections and renovations, had caused living conditions to become unsafe. Engineers were baffled for months, trying to figure out why only half the skyscraper collapsed, leaving the other half entirely undamaged. But I know the true reason. Paramedics did their best they could that morning, shifting through the demolished remnants of brick, glass, wood, and debris. They discovered many bodies. You probably saw footage of the tragedy on the news. Anyway, surprised they found a stash of old paintings and artwork left almost intact, despite falling dozens of stories as part of the wreckage. Managed to get us a glimpse at one of the paintings before the police and security closed off the areas to civilians. The painting was a beautifully crafted piece. Only one half of this building, the half that had became demolished. Weeks after, nobody ever found the body of the old woman who created the paintings. In fact, when registered tenants informed, there was no record of anyone staying in room 3620. When I was allowed to go back up to my apartment room, The checked address from Marge Perry had vanished. No history of a depositor of that name has shown up in any checking account since. There's some things that just can't be explained. Learn to appreciate and accept the fact that some things don't have answers to them. Don't go looking for them, no matter how strange they may be. That's my advice to you. Yeah, I kind of like this one. Wait, hold on. I rearranged it for the name. Fucking HP shit. Going to anagram solver. It's either Grim Reaper. Ah, I see. Or Mr. Gay Ripper. I'm leaning towards the latter. 10 out of 10. Bitch causes death to whatever she draws. A gay ripper reminds me of, why are you gay? This is my favorite comment. So captivating. 10 out of 10. I actually like the idea of starting behind the main setting apartment buildings. It has a more modern feel. It captures my attention. Pretty decent read. Though I knew the twist in the story was, it didn't make it any less interesting to me. It feels somewhat scary, as well as dramatic. The story itself original, but a shadowy figure? I like the idea. The story's nice. 8.4 out of 10. Why 0.4 though? Like, why specifically 0.4? Oh, the story was written absolutely adore. Apartment horror is very well written and overall nice. Yada yada. Got it. Cool. Found this stale with a predictable plot, but as soon as Two Towers were mentioned, I knew it was 9/11. All the things were unexplained, like the entity. Overall, unexplained seems obvious to me. Marge Perry, if you've ever read Harry Potter, the villain's anagrams is a common trope. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it makes the story great. I actually think it's not a great story either. But the villain is explained subtly to be the Grim Reaper. I kind of like it. Like, there's not like crazy specific stuff going on, and you can, like, it doesn't spell out like, oh, she was predicting disasters. Like, it basically did spell it out, but like, I mean, they didn't just outright say it. I don't know. I kind of like this one. It captivated me. I was interested while reading it. See, I don't hate all of these. There's actually some I do really like. The reason I even got into creepypasta in the first place is because, you know, when I was young, I was really into like all of them, even the bad ones. And there's still something that I look back on and I'm like, yeah, I like that. The Russian sleep experiment, for instance. I think the ending's shitty. But the rest of it, yeah. 1999 is my favorite one of all time. $69, $4.20. No. Creepypasta with a sad sauce. Dead red. The Basilisk Queen. Basilisk. I hear it pronounced both ways. Basilisk or basilisk? Basilisk. Yeah, I don't know. Roads lead to Rome. Yeah. I'm kind of getting burned out. So we do what we must. Hey, Minesweeper. Okay. Let's see. So if there's 3 there. Oh, wait, this is good. This has to be a bomb. My guess is this is a bomb too. Okay. Alright, so we should be good at this one. Cool, we did it. Alright, that's probably gonna be it for the night. I just wanted to just do a quick game of Minesweeper. And hey, I mean, we did it. Let's just pause this. Okay. Thank you all so much for watching. This was a lot of fun. Streams for a while might just be reading stuff. I'm kind of burned out on games, and I find this extremely fun to do. So if you have anything else you want to suggest for readings, or some other thing that doesn't really involve games, or maybe a game that's different, you know, maybe we want to give that a shot. But in the meantime, yeah, see where it goes. I won't have a new video up for a little bit, mainly because I have to work on some other video that you guys want to see, but I don't want to get into it. And once that's done, yeah, I'll work on the next one. Probably be trying to edit some of these reading streams, since they are my favorite after all. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be live tomorrow. If not, day after maybe. Who knows? I won't be gone very long. Only reason I was gone for like 3 days last time was because, you know, some bad stuff happened. But it's all good. Everything's fine now. Yeah. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow? Who knows? Okay. Love you all. Goodbye. You guys are the best. Goodbye.